Chapter 1, I want to dye my hair green. Dad, Mom, I want to dye my hair green. No. I'm just kidding, let's talk about this. Dad, can you put away the belt? Fang Haoyu shivered at the sight of the belt his father took out. The main theme is a loving father and a filial son. The college entrance exam is over. This is the second week after the college entrance exam, and the results will be announced around noon today. Fang Haoyu can't wait to try all kinds of things. After all, he had spent 3 years in high school. No. He had spent 4 years in high school. 3 years in high school plus a year of repeating. He had long since been unable to hold back. He wanted to try every perm and hair color. But Fang Haoyu looked at his father in front of him, who was putting the belt back on. It didn't seem to be going so well. Fang Ling, let me tell you, I didn't forbid you from dyeing your hair. You should at least wait for your results. Don't be like last year, when you were halfway through dyeing your hair and suddenly told me you wanted to repeat. Fang Haoyu scratched his head embarrassedly, cough cough, that was an accident. It definitely won't happen this year. There's definitely no problem. His tone was very confident. His results last year weren't actually that bad. At the very least, he could have gone to a top university. At the time, he had a classmate he had a crush on for 3 years called Shani. The two had always had a good relationship, and it could be said that before they graduated, everyone would have thought that the two would get together. Of course Fang Haoyu thought the same. So at the end of last year's college entrance exam, he chose to confess. Shani, I can be with you, but you have to get into the same university as me. That's my condition. This is also the reason why Fang Haoyu chose to repeat the year. Not only because he didn't do well in the college entrance examination and couldn't get into a better university, but also because he wanted to be with Bai Yue Guang, the girl he had liked for 3 years. So during the year of repeating, he worked very hard, getting up early and going to bed late, just to get into Jiangnan University. At this time, Fang Haoyu anxiously waited for the scores. Fang Ling teased, "What are you in a hurry for? The score won't change, will it? Are you going to the Douyin comments section to pick up the score? Why are you in such a hurry?" Fang Haoyu gave his father a look. If picking up the score was useful, would I still be repeating the year? At this time, Liang Yun walked into the study with fruit. "Don't worry, no matter how you do in the exam, as long as your son is happy, it's fine, you don't have to go to a first-tier university. When the time comes, your father will arrange for you to work in your uncle's company." Fang Haoyu said helplessly, "Mom, I don't even know what I want to do in the future, and you're just going to arrange it." Fang Ling hit the nail on the head. "It doesn't matter what you arrange, you're just going to be there to collect another salary, so just goof off. Your uncle doesn't need the money, so what's wrong with fleecing him a little?" Fang Haoyu hadn't even started university yet, and he'd already found a job for the future. Ding! Fang Haoyu's WeChat rang. The results were out. His classmate had just sent him a message to remind him. Fang Haoyu hurriedly started refreshing the page to go in and check the results. Still, it took forever for the page to refresh. There are too many people, so take your time. It's here. 680 points. Blackie speaks. Fang Haoyu jumped up excitedly. This score is definitely good enough for Jiangcheng University. It also means he can be with his own white moonlight. Awesome. You're worthy of being my eldest son. You've inherited my intelligence. Fang Ling couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. Fang Ling and Liang Yun then immediately took out their phones and started calling everyone to spread the good news. "How did you know my son got 680 points in the college entrance exam? What did he eat for lunch today? My son got 680 points. Fang Haoyu sighed helplessly when he saw his parents, who couldn't stop showing off. When will my parents become as calm as I am? They are still so childish. Fang Haoyu took out his phone and dialed a number. "Hello, is this Huang Jianfeng? How did you know I got 680 points? Huang Jianfeng?" Fang Haoyu went back to his room. Finally, he could be with her. He thought about her as his girlfriend in the future. Eating together, shopping together, studying together, playing games together. Fang Haoyu wriggled like a maggot in bed. Then he couldn't wait to dial the number he wanted to call most. "Is this Shani?" "Shani, it's me, what's up?" Fang Haoyu cleared his throat. "Do you remember what you told me last year?" Shani frowned. "What did you say?" Fang Haoyu, you said that if I got into Jiangnan University, we would be together. My results are in, 680 points, I'll definitely get in. After he finished speaking, there was suddenly no sound on the other end of the line. So can you be with me now? Fang Haoyu asked cautiously. There was a long silence on the other end of the line. Why aren't you saying anything? Fang Haoyu also had a bad feeling. Shani, I'm sorry, I think I'll have to say no to you after all. In fact, it's been really nice being friends. Upon hearing these words, Fang Haoyu froze, his expression full of shock. He couldn't even hold the phone steady. It could be said that his heart, which had been hanging in the balance, finally died. Shinyi's tone was slightly apologetic. I didn't mean it. I didn't think you'd really take it seriously. I think it's fine for us to be friends. I've really liked the things you've given me over the years. Fang Haoyu picked up the phone and smiled bitterly. That's enough, you don't need to say anymore, I know everything. I'm sorry to have bothered you. After hanging up the phone, Fang Haoyu fell onto the bed with a thud. It can be said that at this time his heart was as good as dead. He touched the position of his heart. All he wanted to say now was, it hurts. It hurts so much. Why didn't she say it sooner? It would have been better for everyone if she had rejected it sooner, wouldn't it? Why did she accept all the gifts he gave her during his repeat year without refusing them? You have to know that basically all the gifts he gave her were the kind that only couples would give each other. Does accepting a gift not mean that I agree? Forget it. It's just my own self-deception. Fang Haoyu thought about this, and he felt more disappointed than sad. He was disappointed in Shinyi as a person. I was wrong about her. Forget Jiangcheng University. Fang Haoyu felt a little resistance towards Jiangcheng University at this time. He really didn't want to see Shinyi anymore. It's awkward. Anyway, he still had no problem getting into a top school with his previous score. Although he had been rejected, at least his score had improved. He could go to a better university. This is the advantage of repeating the year, isn't it? Fang Haoyu kept reassuring himself. Phew, it's okay, it's okay. The girl he had liked for 3 years was the White Moonlight, so it was only natural that it would be difficult. At this time, Huang Jianfeng called him. With this score, you're definitely going to Jiangnan University. Shinyi should agree to be with you, right? You've got a girlfriend too, you know. Chapter 2 The college entrance exam has just ended. You want me to get married? Fang Haoyu said calmly, no, I was rejected. Rejected? Huang Jianfeng obviously didn't believe it. He knew Fang Haoyu personally. In terms of appearance, he could be considered handsome and very easy on the eyes. He was the type that got more handsome the more you looked at him, and Shinyi had been hanging out with him for so many years, she should be able to tell. He also had good grades, a good family environment, and his family wasn't poor, but at least they had some money. He is also tall, about 1.8 meters. The main thing is that Fang Haoyu has liked Shinyi for so many years, and he has rejected all his high school suitors. You can say that he is very dedicated, right? Just imagine, a dedicated man who is handsome, 1.8 meters tall, and has a little money at home likes you, who can resist? Just be happy for yourself. Huang Jianfeng felt that if he were a woman, he would have agreed a long time ago. This Shinyi is really strange. Could it be that she is actually a man? Is that why she can't be with Fang Haoyu? Huang Jianfeng's mind began to conjure up all kinds of possibilities. Are you serious? Fang Haoyu, do I look like I'm joking to you? Huang Jianfeng, so are you going to Jiangda University? How about coming to Haida University? I have a lot of beautiful women here. Basically shorts and short skirts all year round. I'm telling you, there are so many beautiful women here, I can see upskirt when I go to the courier room to get the courier. Fang Haoyu obviously didn't want to talk about this right now, he probably wouldn't go to Jiangda University. As for where to go, he hadn't thought about it yet, and he would discuss it with his parents when the time came. Huang Jianfeng could tell that he was in a low mood. Okay, if you're really in a bad mood, I'll take you out for a drink. After hanging up the phone, Fang Haoyu was no longer happy about his results. Instead, he felt lost. Son, which university are you going to go to? Fang Ling asked from the doorway. You can go to Jiangnan University with these scores. It's close to home, and you can talk to Fang Ling again. Halfway through the conversation, Fang Ling also noticed something was wrong. Shouldn't his son be excited at this moment? Fang Haoyu walked out of the room, his face full of disappointment. Seeing Fang Haoyu in this state, Fang Ling could also tell that he had encountered something unhappy. What's wrong, son? You can tell your father anything. Your father can solve anything for you. Fang Ling comforted him. Fang Haoyu didn't hide anything either. He went to the living room and told his parents about his failed confession. Haha, my son is so handsome and he can still get rejected. Fang Ling couldn't help but laugh out loud. Fang Haoyu? He now had some doubts about whether he was really his biological son. His own confession failed, and his own father actually laughed so happily? Lian Yun couldn't help but laugh secretly as well. Fang Haoyu couldn't help but wonder, what are you laughing at? Is it funny that your son has failed to find a mate? Fang Ling controlled his expression and said indifferently, why didn't you say earlier that you have someone you like? Otherwise, I would have told your Uncle Jiang in advance. Uncle Jiang? Why don't I know him? Fang Haoyu didn't know this uncle. Fang Ling said impatiently, rotten brat, I usually tell you to eat out with me more often, but you never want to. He even hugged you when you were little. It seems that when you were 5 years old, you even asked him to take you out to play. But you shouldn't be able to remember something that happened so long ago, so it's normal that you don't know him. Hugged him? Everyone he met when he returned to the village said they had hugged him. But he didn't recognize any of them. Wait. Why would I tell Uncle Jiang in advance if I had someone I liked? Fang Haoyu took a step back. Could it be that this Uncle Jiang was lusting after his body? He's a straight man. And he doesn't like old people. Fang Ling gave him a glare. Don't you fucking think about it, what weird things are going through your head? He, the father, knows exactly what his son is thinking. Then he explained lightly, when you were little, I arranged a marriage for you with your Uncle Jiang's daughter. Liang Yun chimed in at this point, I'm telling you, the Jiang girl is really pretty, she's at Jiangda University, so when the time comes, you can apply to Jiangda, and you won't have to be in long-distance relationships. Stop. Wait a minute. Are you saying that I've always had a marriage arranged for me? What century is this? I want to pursue free love. Don't you consider my opinion? And don't you consider other people's opinions? What if the girl doesn't want to? Fang Haoyu was stunned. The sudden proposal had caught him off guard. Fang Ling gave him a disgusted slap on the head, brat. You're getting all the benefits and still complaining. Do you know how outstanding your uncle's daughter is? Fang Haoyu covered his head, even if she is outstanding, she can't go against the wishes of a good family man. Fang Ling snorted, I'm not saying I don't respect your free love. I already agreed with your Uncle Jiang that if you two hadn't fallen in love after turning 20, you would get married. Isn't that enough respect? You were given 20 years to find a partner, but did you find one? Fang Haoyu? He was already 20 years old when he graduated from high school because he took evening classes and repeated a year. I studied hard for the first 20 years of my life, didn't I? You said yourself that if I got into a relationship at school, you'd break my legs. Fang Ling guiltily turned his head to one side, I don't care about that. Do you think I'll let you stop looking if you don't? How could I not find someone secretly? He can't say he did it on purpose, can he? Liang Yin nodded in agreement, that's right, your father started dating in junior high school. Fang Haoyu could see what was going on. The couple were on the same side. Parents, I understand your eagerness for me to find a partner, but I'm only 20 years old, and the college entrance exam has just ended. You want me to get married? Is that reasonable? In the future, when I fill out forms at school, do I have to write that I'm married? Fang Haoyu still couldn't accept it. The most important thing is the other girl's wishes. Aren't you forcing the girl? What if I'm posted online in the future? Fang Ling sneered, you mean if the girl doesn't have an opinion, you don't have an opinion either? Fang Haoyu laughed with disdain. If she doesn't have an opinion, then I definitely don't. How could the other party not have an opinion? Marry a man she has never met without any conditions? No? Do you think this is a novel? He could already imagine the other party refusing to the end, and finally having no choice but to call off the engagement. As for his words, it's enough for the girl to refuse such things. Otherwise, if he refuses, the other party will lose face. I'm a gentleman boy. Fang Ling didn't care what he was thinking, and instead, he directly dialed a phone number. Hello, Xiaoyan, yes, it's me, Uncle Fong. Fong Ling said with a smile. Fong Haoyu was a little speechless. His cheap father's tone was so careful, and anyone who didn't know would think that they had a good relationship. It's over when you see if people will scold you or not. At this moment, Fong Haoyu completely forgot his sad mood earlier, and now he just wanted to see the embarrassed look on his father's face after being rejected. That arranged marriage your father told you about, my guy here has no problem with it, it just depends on you. If you're willing, you can go get your marriage certificate in a few days. Fong Ling switched on the speakerphone so that the other two could hear her response. Chapter 3, I have no objections. I have no objections. The voice on the other end of the line was very pleasant and soothing, and her tone was very calm, as if this were a trivial matter. I told you, it's definitely not going to work. Fong Haoyu had an expression of I knew it on his face. That's good. That's good, just remember to contact your uncle then, I won't disturb you anymore. Fong Ling hung up the phone with a smile. Wait a minute. Fong Haoyu only reacted at this point, did she say she had no objections? Fong Ling, what else? Fong Haoyu, no, he doesn't have an opinion, but I do. She doesn't even know me. How can she just agree? Fong Ling said proudly, you said it yourself, as long as the other person doesn't have an opinion, you don't have an opinion either. If you say you have an opinion now, you'll be slapping the girl in the face. If you dare to go back on your word, I'll give you 1,000 yuan for your living expenses while you're at university, and you'll have to fend for yourself. But if you get married, I'll give you 3,000 yuan a month. Fong Haoyu, no, Dad, please explain it to me. I'm still a pure young boy who has never been in love. You want me to get married so soon? Liang Yun came over and persuaded him, son, you yourself said that if she has no objection, then you have no objection. It's not good to go back on your word now. Fong Haoyu felt very aggrieved, but I don't even know what she looks like, and why would she agree? Liang Yun took out her photo. Yes, this is her photo. I swear I will never agree to this. He was only halfway through his sentence when he saw the photo and froze. The girl in the photo was beautiful and charming. A black dress outlined her slender figure, and her tall and slender figure had smooth and natural lines. Her skin was as white as snow, exuding a cold radiance, and her hair fell like a waterfall over her shoulders, brushing lightly against her pale skin, accentuating her coldness and mystery. Without excessive adornment, she still exuded a unique charm. I have to say, Fong Haoyu's heart skipped a beat the moment he saw the photo. She's so beautiful. And he got a feeling of familiarity when he saw the girl in the photo. Fong Haoyu swallowed, but then again. Fong Ling rolled his eyes at the sight of his son's infatuated face. If he had known, he would have shown the photo earlier. It's okay, your father definitely won't harm you. Fong Haoyu was silent for a while, but still shook his head, your son doesn't seem to be a good match for her. I admit that she is very pretty, but neither she nor I know each other. Fong Ling, I don't care about your reasons. Anyway, you have to go and get the certificate the day after tomorrow. If it doesn't work out, we'll talk about it then. Just don't get me into trouble. Liang Yun muttered, yeah, she's been waiting for you for so many years. Fong Haoyu asked doubtfully, waiting for me? What do you mean? Did I say anything? I didn't say anything, did I? Liang Yun said guiltily. Fong Haoyu didn't really care. Fine, I know, I'll talk to her about it when the time comes. Fong Haoyu sighed. He planned to talk to her about it himself when the time came. After all, getting a marriage certificate was no small matter. This was marriage. A major life event. If it didn't work out and they got divorced, wouldn't they be second-timers if they looked for someone else? She must have been forced into it, right? I'll have a good chat with her then. Fong Haoyu took out his phone and looked at the photo his mother had sent him. Should he say something? His intended bride-to-be was really pretty. Definitely a school beauty. Jiang. Always felt like she had heard that name somewhere before. And for some reason, the moment she came into view, she felt a sense of familiarity. Her heartbeat quickened. But he was certain that the two of them had never met before. At least he couldn't find this person in his memory. So Fong Haoyu attributed it all to seeing a pretty girl and getting excited. He had just been rejected, and now he was falling in love at first sight with another girl? It must be that she was so pretty that he felt his heart stir. Everyone loves beauty. If he could talk his way out of it, he probably wouldn't have to go to Jiangnan University. He really didn't want to see Shani again. As he thought about it, he fell asleep. Uncle Fong, I'm here. Xiaoyan, you're here. Come in and sit down. Liang Yun hurriedly greeted Jiang Jiyan as she came in. Today, Jiang Jiyan was wearing a small white dress, like the first ray of sunshine in the morning, fresh and moving. The length of the dress was just right, lightly brushing against her skin and outlining her slender figure. Her long hair fell like a waterfall on her back, slightly fluttering and exuding a faint fragrance. Jiang Jiyan smiled politely and said shyly, "And Liang, no need, I came to." Liang Yun immediately understood what Jiang Jiyan meant. "I understand, I'll wake him up now, there's no reason to let a girl wait." With that, Liang Yun pulled Jiang Jiyan into the living room. This time, Jiang Jiyan did not refuse, but sat in the living room with a smile on her face. Fong Haoyu's bedroom. You brat! Get up already! What time did you play last night? Fong Ling directly lifted Fong Haoyu's quilt. Then he turned off the air conditioner. Fong Haoyu rubbed his eyes. "Mom and Dad, what are you doing? You're not letting me sleep on a good holiday? Are you really stupid or just pretending? Today is the day you get your license." Liang Yun said discontentedly. This kid really doesn't take this seriously. What does this make the girl sitting outside think? With such a bad first impression, what will he use to keep his daughter-in-law? Fong Haoyu only reacted then. He had been playing games all night for the past 2 days, having a great time. The main reason was that playing games allowed him to temporarily forget unhappy things. It was like drinking. Fong Haoyu suddenly came to his senses and jumped straight out of bed. "Why didn't you say so earlier?" Fong Ling. His hand was on the belt, and he almost pulled it off. If Jiang Jiyan wasn't sitting outside right now, facing the mess Fong Haoyu had made, this belt would definitely be nourishing Fong Haoyu. "Fong Haoyu, I'm going to go wash up right now." With that, he immediately ran out of the room. "Wait, put your shirt on," Liang Yun reminded him. Fong Haoyu laughed. "I'm not wearing any pants, and there are no outsiders in the house." But when he walked out of the room, his smile froze. He saw the girl in the living room at a glance. The girl in the living room was also looking at him, with a faint blush on her face. "No, I'm embarrassed, I didn't know there was someone in the living room." Fong Haoyu said this and then directly and quickly ran into the bathroom. He was dumbfounded, and even wanted to headbutt himself to death. His unformed version of an 8-pack was just seen like this? At this time, Jiang Jiyan, who was sitting in the living room, had a slight blush on her face. Not bad figure. Her mouth unconsciously rose slightly. "I can't recognize you anymore, it's been a long time." Chapter 4, Pretending to Get a Marriage Certificate? Fong Haoyu finished washing up quickly. He changed his clothes and then walked out. Fong Haoyu walked into the living room. The two of them just looked at each other, without saying a word. Fong Ling and Liang Yun, on the other hand, stayed in Fong Haoyu's bedroom and leaned their heads against the door. Why aren't they talking? Should I go out and remind them to get a marriage certificate? Don't worry, just listen for a while longer. Fong Haoyu broke the awkwardness first. "Hello, my name is Fong Haoyu." Looking at the girl in front of him, who was as beautiful as a fairy, his heart beat uncontrollably faster. She definitely looked better in person than in the photos. In the photos, she looked like she was a bit aloof, but now she looked a little cute. Jiang Jiyan nodded politely and then said indifferently, "Let's go." Fong Haoyu asked in confusion, "Go where?" Jiang Jiyan raised her pretty eyebrows. "To get the certificate." Her tone was very flat, as if getting a marriage certificate was a very trivial matter. Fong Haoyu's expression became a little strange. "What? Are you serious? What do I need to bring?" He was a little overwhelmed. Jiang Jiyan said indifferently, "Bring yourself, your ID card and your household registration book. I'll wait for you downstairs, don't keep me waiting too long, and it's best if you change into something white." After saying this, she got up and left first. She left Fong Haoyu, who was at a loss as to what to do. As soon as Jiang Jiyan left, Liang Yun and Fong Ling immediately came out of the bedroom. "Fong Ling, here is the household registration book and your ID card. Liang Yun, here are the clothes I prepared for you in advance, hurry and change." Jiang Jiyan waited for Fong Haoyu downstairs. She was very excited inside. But her beautiful face was full of calm. She exuded a high and cold temperament. It wasn't until Fong Haoyu came downstairs that a smile appeared on her face. Finally he's here. You haven't been waiting long, have you? Fang Haoyu was wearing a white shirt and black pants, looking very formal. Fang Haoyu is still somewhat good-looking, and with this outfit, he gives off a clean feeling. He didn't bother to find out what kind of clothes to wear for the license application. His mother prepared it for him anyway. Jiang was also slightly stunned when she saw Fang Haoyu's appearance. She didn't expect him to still be quite good-looking after growing up. What's wrong? Up to this point, Fang Haoyu still didn't know how to address the person in front of him. It's nothing. After reacting, Jiang looked away to hide her embarrassment. Haven't you been waiting long? Fang Haoyu asked again. Jiang, it's been quite a while. Fang Haoyu? Fang Haoyu just wanted to be polite, but she really felt that she had been waiting for a long time. How embarrassing. How are we going to get there? Taking a taxi? Fang Haoyu changed the subject. I have a car, let's drive. Jiang said. Then Jiang took Fang Haoyu to a white Mercedes-Benz. Are you being forced? Fang Haoyu couldn't help but ask. He had already thought it through. If it was forced, the two of them could pretend to get married first. They could just find an excuse to hide it from their parents. Then they could just find an excuse to say it wasn't a good idea. Jiang was slightly taken aback. She obviously didn't expect Fang Haoyu to ask such a question. Seeing that she didn't say anything, Fang Haoyu thought he had guessed correctly. You too, right? We haven't even graduated yet and we're getting married. I don't know what our parents are thinking. Why don't we think of a way? How about we just pretend to get married? Jiang's mouth curled into an imperceptible smile. Pretend to get married? What do you mean? Fang Haoyu explained, if I don't get married, my parents will cut my living expenses. I don't want to live in the wilderness during college. Jiang blinked her beautiful eyes, her eyes slightly playful. Whatever you say, let's get married. Fang Haoyu let out a sigh of relief. Let's go then. Jiang's face showed no expression. I don't have a driver's license. Fang Haoyu looked puzzled. Then how did this car get here? I just called a designated driver. Then call again. I don't have any money. Fang Haoyu looked unconvinced. You're driving this car and you say you don't have any money? Jiang seemed to know what he was thinking, and calmly explained, it's my dad's car. Fang Haoyu always had the feeling that she was doing it on purpose. So what do we do? I don't have a driver's license either, I just took the written test. Jiang gave a calm smile, revealing an expression of I'm prepared. It's okay, I also prepared a small electric bicycle. Fang Haoyu's mind couldn't quite wrap around it. He always felt that something was wrong. Get out of the car. The two got out of the car, and Jiang led Fang Haoyu to a pink electric bicycle. This is the one you drive. Fang Haoyu hesitated for a moment. A pink electric scooter? It's pure pink. Why don't you drive it? I won't drive with someone on the back. Okay. Fang Haoyu gave in. It's pink, so it's pink. I'll wear a helmet anyway. Fang Haoyu frowned when he saw the color of the helmet. Why is this helmet also pink? Jiang glared at him. I'm a girl. Isn't it normal to buy pink? Are you disgusted? Fang Haoyu quickly waved his hand. No, how could I dare to dislike it? I like pink. So be it. Get on. Fang Haoyu put on the helmet. Oh yeah, you don't seem to have a helmet, do you? Who said I don't? Jiang took out another pink helmet from under the seat of the electric moped. You put it on for me, I can't do it. Fang Haoyu. If you can't put on a helmet, what are you riding an electric moped for? Aren't you afraid of being caught by the traffic police? Forget it, I'll just help her. Fang Haoyu is 1.83 meters tall, and Jiang is 1.68 meters tall. Fang Haoyu lowered his head and helped her put on the helmet. The two of them locked eyes. Fang Haoyu looked at her pretty face, and his cheeks couldn't help but flush. Looking at the face in front of him, a ripple could not be helped in his heart. Fang Haoyu shook his head and forced himself not to think too much. He was just attracted to the sight of her. Jiang looked at the boy in front of her who was putting on her helmet. Her cheeks began to burn, and she fell into memories. Okay, it's on. After the two of them put on the pink helmets, they really looked like a couple. they looked very compatible. The two of them got on the small electric moped. I don't know where it is, you show me the way. Okay. Just like that, one cart, two people, two pink helmets, and they were on their way. Fong Haoyu didn't dare drive too fast. He was afraid that if he drove too fast, he would take a wrong turn. Although the small electric moped was not as fast as a car, it had one advantage. It's more intimate than in a car. That's right. Jiang Jian's hand had unconsciously wrapped around his waist. Fong Haoyu could feel the softness from the back, accompanied by the faint body odor of Jiang Jian. This kind of touch made him unable to help but scream in his heart, "This is definitely foul." No way. I'm still driving. Don't think too much. Otherwise it's easy to have a car accident. Fong Haoyu couldn't help but look down, and his brows slightly wrinkled. Get off me. Chapter 5 Senior High Jian. Fortunately, Fong Haoyu is quite talented at playing FPS games. He quickly calmed down. After driving for 10 minutes, they finally arrived at the Civil Affairs Bureau. Next was receiving the certificate. 2.5 hours later. In front of the Civil Affairs Bureau, a man and a woman, both holding their respective marriage certificates in their hands. Fong Haoyu looked at the marriage certificate in his hands and felt like he was still dreaming. He never thought he would get married like this. Although it was a fake certificate, it was still his first time. He glanced at Jiang Jian, who wasn't looking at the marriage certificate but putting it in her bag. It didn't seem like she thought the marriage certificate was important. Fong Haoyu reminded her, "Keep it safe, you'll need it if you get divorced." Jiang Jian didn't reply, but said indifferently, "Time to go back." On the way back, Fong Haoyu once again felt how great his wife's figure was. "Well, I'll go first." Jiang Jian looked indifferent. "Yes, remember to register at Jiangda." Fong Haoyu said goodbye and left. Jiang Jian watched his departing back, and couldn't help but let the corners of her mouth rise slightly, "Fool." Then she got back into the Mercedes-Benz. Then she took out the marriage certificate, looked at the photo on it, and couldn't take her eyes off it. A fake certificate? The stamp is not fake. A good-looking smile appeared again on her cold face. Then she carefully put the marriage certificate in her bag. She drove off in the Mercedes-Benz. No driver's license? How could there be no driver's license? I was just fooling this fool. Fong Haoyu didn't tell anyone about getting a marriage license. He really didn't dare to. Even if he did, who would believe him? The main thing was that he had obtained a fake marriage license, and if anyone found out, it might delay him finding a partner. More importantly, it would delay his wife finding a partner. Why did I always feel that this sentence was a bit rebellious, delaying his wife from finding a partner? It's just a fake wife. If only it were real. But it was impossible, the other party was also forced to do it. He can't help but recall the intimate actions of the two of them today. She is so pretty and has a great figure, and she is quite aloof. She definitely doesn't have any interest in someone like him. Sure enough, playing games is more suitable for me. Why not find some part-time work? When I have money, I won't be afraid of my cheap father not giving me any living expenses. Just do it. As for what to do, he already has an idea. His choice came as no surprise. Fong Haoyu finally chose to come to Jiangda. Although he was reluctant to see Shani. But it was close to home, and he and Jiang Jian had already gotten married. If he didn't apply to a university, his parents would say it was unacceptable. As for the major, he chose computer science. It was more like his father chose it for him than him choosing it. He didn't know what major he liked. School would start in a few days. Fong Haoyu was a little irritated. A new environment, new people, he didn't know if he could adapt. He didn't know about the freshman group until 2 days before school started. Fong Haoyu felt a little regretful. He had been so busy having fun that he had forgotten about the important things. As a freshman, he should have gone to the freshman group to find out what the school was like. But after he joined the freshman group, he became completely honest. He had thought that there would be a lot of normal people in the group. Unexpectedly, as soon as he entered, Fong Haoyu was speechless. Can I park at school? I'll need my Porsche. Does the school have a Starbucks? I need a cup every morning, otherwise I can't bear it. Hype photo, oops. I accidentally posted the wrong one, so don't all of you look at it. I just got back from abroad, is 10,000 yuan a month living expenses enough? I'm a little afraid it's not enough. Fang Haoyu had a face full of question marks. Is the freshman group that obvious? Brother returned from studying abroad, brother Porsche, brother Starbucks, sister posting the wrong photo. The ingredients are a bit too complicated, aren't they? Fang Haoyu, who had originally planned to ask about the school and the group, hesitated. Should he ask in the group or not? Just as he was hesitating, an account in the group called LD called Hai Jian suddenly said, "Freshmen who want to know about the school can PM me." Fang Haoyu's eyes lit up. Finally, there's a normal person. Fang Haoyu quickly sent a friend request. Jisher Shuebo sent a friend request to Hai Jian. In no time, Hai Jian approved his friend request. Zishua Bao, hello, senior. Can I come and ask you questions? Hai Jian, what's your name? Fang Haoyu was taken aback when he saw the message. Do I have to tell the senior my name just to ask a question? Zishua Bao, my name is Fang Haoyu, I'm a freshman in the computer science department. On the other side, Jiang Jian's pretty eyes blinked, and the corner of her mouth couldn't help but rise. Finally, I've waited for you. She has been in the freshman group for a long time. This is also the reason why she asked for the name first. If the name is correct, she will answer the question, otherwise she will ignore it. Obviously, this time it is correct. Hai Jian, computer science? It's a pity that we are in the same department. Jishi, what's a pity? Hai Jian, the employment prospects of the computer science major are not very good. You will be unemployed after graduation. There is no shortage of people in this industry, and the competition is intense. It is comparable to civil engineering. Knowledge explosion, huh? So I'm useless after graduation? Hai Jian, there's one more way. Knowledge explosion, I dare ask. Hai Jian, that's to study hard and become one of the top technicians. But it's unlikely you can learn to that level at school, you have to teach yourself. Knowledge explosion, forget it, isn't that killing me? Fang Haoyu suddenly wondered why the senior would choose this if the employment prospects were not good. Then why did you choose this major? Hai Jian paused for a moment before answering, and uncle suggested that I study it, so I also suggested it to his son. Knowledge explosion, well done. You must have made your son suffer the same way you suffered, otherwise how could you live with yourself? The two continued chatting about the major for a while. It was only then that Fang Haoyu understood. The computer major has long been saturated and is no longer popular, unless you are very talented and work hard. Now that many people have chosen this major, they realize its drawbacks. But it seems like there are no other options. Can he change majors? Fang Haoyu doesn't bother changing majors. Fortunately, he doesn't have to worry about finding a job after graduation. His parents have said that he can just graduate normally. If he can't find a job, they can arrange for him to work at his uncle's company. Knowledge explosion, hey, senior, what do the dorms at our school look like? Do the air conditioners work well? Will they be older than me? Fang Haoyu asked some professional questions, and then started asking about the school. You have to know that the dormitory environment and air conditioning are literally a student's life. If the dormitory is shabby and the air conditioning is broken, college students will curse from morning till night in the dormitory. Chapter 6, I'm not really in a relationship, I'm just married. Hai Jian, the environment is okay, don't worry, the dorms at our school are all new, the air conditioning was installed not long ago, and there are washing machines and the like. Shi Xiao Shuebao, really? Washing machines too? How many people are there in a dorm room? Hai Jian, single rooms, double rooms, quadruple rooms, and 6-person rooms. You choose which one you want, the fewer people, the more expensive it is. Hai Jian, no, I'm in a double room. Double room? It seems that you don't like being in a crowd. Normally, guys like being in a crowd. Fang Haoyu has already decided that he will choose a quadruple room. A 6-person room is too big, a single room or a double room is too lonely, and a quadruple room is just right. Fang Haoyu then asked Hai Jian about the size of the school library and which cafeteria serves the best food. Hai Jian, of course, answered all of his questions. This made Fang Haoyu have a very good impression of him. Fang Haoyu had expected Hai Jian to try to sell him a campus card after all that. But no. Knowledge explosion, thank you, senior. There aren't many pure good people like you anymore. Hi Jian. Knowledge explosion, isn't that so? You and I don't know each other, but you answered me so patiently, and you didn't try to sell me a campus card. Hi Jian, right, Junior, do you want to know about the campus card? Knowledge explosion. Then, can I have one? Fang Haoyu felt a little embarrassed. After all, the other person had answered so many of his questions. He happened to be in need of a card as well. Puff. Jiang Jian couldn't help but laugh when she saw his message. He really is cute. Can't you tell when I'm joking? Hi Jian, I'm joking. Knowledge explosion, senior? Do you play games? Hi Jian, what games? Knowledge learning explodes, I play everything, computer games and mobile games, but my favorite game is still CF, I've been a veteran for 10 years. Hi Jian, CF? I can play it too. Knowledge learning explodes, really? Hi Jian, of course. Knowledge learning explodes, sign me up. Nowadays, there aren't many people who can find someone to play CF with. Basically, everyone is playing Go or Weiqi. Seeing that Hai Jian plays CF like him, he even regarded him as an old comrade in arms. What surprised Fang Haoyu was Hai Jian's CF level. It was actually a little better than that of a 10-year veteran like him. All kinds of instant sniping, small steps, and flick sniping were so cool. They played for the whole afternoon, almost never losing, and their ratings were all as Fang Haoyu's rating was also not low, with an A+. The two of them teamed up to kill indiscriminately. If it weren't for the fact that they were reported too many times and sent to the punishment room, Fang Haoyu would never have let him go. Knowledge explosion, senior? You didn't turn it on, did you? Hi Jian? Practice more if you're not good at it. Knowledge explosion, why didn't you announce the points using the microphone? Hi Jian, the microphone is broken. Knowledge explosion, okay, when we get to school, I'll buy you dinner in the cafeteria if you give me the chance. Hi Jian, okay, I'll be waiting for you. Building 4, Girls' Dormitory. Inside the dormitory. A girl with a high ponytail and an average appearance just returned to the dormitory and saw Jiang Jian looking at her phone with a faint smile on the corner of her mouth. Yang Xiaoling narrowed her eyes slightly and looked at Jiang Jian suspiciously. What are you smiling about? Yang Xiaoling felt bad all over. Could it be that Jiang Jian is in love? That's unlikely, isn't it? Jiang Jian doesn't touch men, does she? Otherwise, why is it that since she came to school 3 years ago, so many guys have chased after her? And she has rejected them all. That's right. Not politely, but harshly. She is known as Jiang University's most aloof and cold-hearted school beauty. No man can get into her good graces. Even the school's acknowledged school beauty has not been able to speak to her for more than 3 sentences. You're not thinking about a guy, are you? How could that be? Jiang. Could it be that you have someone you like? Yang Xiaoling wanted to cry but had no tears. Could it be that her best friend, who had been single for so long, was finally going to get married? This made her feel like a cabbage that had been cultivated for a long time and had been trampled by a pig. Jiang Jian put on a smile and looked at her indifferently. What's there to talk about? Do you think that's possible? Yang Xiaoling let out a sigh of relief. That's good, I'll say Jiang University's most beautiful girl, how could she suddenly fall in love? She sat down on the stool and just took a sip of water. Actually, I'm already married. Poof. Cough cough. Jiang, are you kidding? Yang Xiaoling was speechless as she looked at the water on her pants. Her best friend really knows how to hurt people. Believe it or not. Jiang Jian gave her a cold stare. Yang Xiaoling laughed and said, believe it, Jiang University's most beautiful girl, is getting married, so remember to invite me to the wedding banquet. Although she said that, of course she didn't believe it. Jiang University's most beautiful girl, cold and aloof goddess, not attracted to men. These words are completely unrelated to the word married. Who would believe it? Only a fool would believe it. Yang Xiaoling and Jiang Jian are roommates and best friends. They have one thing in common, they have never been in love in college. Jiang Jian doesn't have a favorite boy. The reason Yang Xiaoling doesn't date is because she had her fortune told online before university and was told that she was not suited to dating during her university years. Although it's nonsense, Yang Xiaoling is a bit silly and really didn't date. When others ask her why she doesn't date, she'll say, if Jiang Jian doesn't date, I won't either. Jiang Jian gives Yang Shaoling a pitiful look and lets out a soft sigh. Sorry, I'll go first, my best friend. Even though I said I wouldn't date, I didn't say I wouldn't get married. Yang Shaoling is dumbfounded for a moment. What's with that face? It's like you really mean it. Jiang Jian doesn't explain, but just gives a faint smile. Why do you keep playing this game? It feels like only boys play this kind of game, doesn't it? Yang Shaoling pointed at her laptop screen and asked in puzzlement. Jiang Jian said indifferently, of course it's to play with my husband. Yang Shaoling rolled her eyes and said in Boss Crab's strange tone, to play with my husband. If you had a husband, I would already have a child. The first day of school. As soon as I entered the school gate, I saw a bunch of big blue umbrellas connected together, with people from different colleges sitting underneath. Finance and Economics College, Management College, Information College. After locking onto his target, Fang Haoyu dragged his 28-inch suitcase over to the sign that said Information College New Student Reception. Hello, is this the Information College New Student Registration Point? The middle-aged man nodded. Yes, this is the Information College registration point. Are you a new student? Fang Haoyu hurriedly took out his admission notice and ID card and handed them to him. After confirming that they were correct, the middle-aged man said indifferently, I am the teacher at the Information College reception. My name is He Bing, you can just call me Teacher He. You can go in after you register. If you have too much luggage or don't know the way, the senior students wearing red volunteer vests behind me can take you there. Fang Haoyu, thank you, teacher. Just as he was about to find a senior student to show the way, he suddenly heard the voices of the people around him becoming noisy. Isn't that the Jiangda school flower? Why is she here at the new student reception too? Chapter 7 Jiang University's flower girl personally receiving new students? Behind the new student reception desk stood a top beauty with fair skin like snow, exuding a cool radiance, and a hint of coldness in her beautiful eyes. Her gaze looked left and right as if she was looking for someone. What's going on with Jiang University's flower girl? Is she looking for her boyfriend? No way. Jiang University's flower girl said she doesn't date. Even if she does, the school hunk definitely has the best chance. Yes, most likely she is here to entertain the freshmen. I wonder which lucky freshman will be personally entertained by Jiang University's flower girl. If I can be entertained by Jiang University's flower girl, I would be willing to drive a luxury car and live in a mansion. Almost everyone's gaze was on Jiang Jian's body, including the new students who had just arrived. The moment they saw Jiang Jian, everyone's feet felt like they were glued to the ground with 502. They couldn't walk, they simply couldn't walk. Fang Haoyu originally wanted to find a senior to help him, but he found that the senior was already staring at Jiang Jian and unable to move. Is that her? The moment Fang Haoyu saw Jiang Jian, the memory of his flash marriage a month ago came to mind. His heartbeat accelerated involuntarily. Just as Jiang Jian looked around, a boy with a crew cut mustered up the courage to approach. Senior, can I have your contact? He hadn't finished speaking. Jiang Jian's brows slightly wrinkled, and a hint of coldness was revealed in her eyes. No, I'm not embarrassed. The boy with the buzz cut got goosebumps behind his back and hurriedly apologized and left. The people around him couldn't help but laugh out loud. This boy with the buzz cut is obviously a freshman. Who doesn't know the personality of Jiang University's flower girl? I would say it too. How could Jiang University's flower girl approach a boy? Even if she comes to receive guests, she can't possibly receive a boy. If she were to receive a boy, I would just eat. Jiang Jian finally saw the person she wanted to see. Her furrowed brows instantly relaxed, and her originally cold eyes became gentle. A faint smile appeared on her face. She then immediately walked in Fang Haoyu's direction. Fang Haoyu was stunned. He originally just wanted to stay and eat melons. Why did it feel like she was coming at him? Just as he was stunned, Jiang Jian had already walked in front of him. Little brother? Can't find the dormitory, right? I'll take you there. Jiang Jian gave a sweet smile. This smile made Fang Haoyu's heart skip a beat. Didn't we say we were going to pretend to be married? Fang Haoyu whispered. Jiang Jian's lips curled into a faint smile. Yes, I'm taking you to the dormitory as your senior. Why don't you call me senior? Are you so rude? Everyone around them was looking at the two of them. Fang Haoyu felt a little embarrassed being looked at like this. Thank you, senior. Can you take me to the dormitory now? Jiang Jian raised an eyebrow. Please, 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 please. Please, 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 please. What's going on? Are we asleep? What did you say you wanted to eat? I said I want to eat the braised chicken rice in the cafeteria. Shock. Jiang Jian, a university senior, actually received a male freshman. This freshman is really blessed. The freshman who originally planned to leave suddenly didn't plan to go. In fact, it's pretty good to wait here for the senior to come back and receive you. Maybe the next lucky person will be yourself? Are you in building 3? Yes. I'm next door to you, I'm in building 4. I didn't ask. You're being rude to your senior, who's kindly showing you the way. Jiang Jian said, pretending to be annoyed. Fong Haoyu didn't dare to look at her. The main reason was that his heart would beat very fast whenever he looked at her. I'm sorry about that. Jiang Jian then smiled. That's right, we're all in the same school now, we have to help each other. My father told me to help you more, otherwise I wouldn't have come. Fong Haoyu suddenly understood. No wonder, otherwise I would have thought that Jiang Jian liked me. For some reason, a sense of loss flashed through his mind. Jiang Jian's pretty face turned slightly red. Che, what a narcissist. Oh yeah, let's add each other on WeChat, we didn't do it last time. Fong Haoyu patted his head. Right, look at my brain. The two of them didn't even add each other as contacts after getting their marriage certificate last time. A married couple without contact information. Wouldn't even be allowed to write this in a novel. Okay. The two of them finally added each other as contacts. Little brother, if you have any questions at school in the future, just come and ask me, got it? Oh yeah, Miss Jiang, what's your major? Computer science. The same as mine? Fong Haoyu was slightly surprised. Yes, so if you have any questions, you can come and ask me, I'll answer them for you, Miss Jiang said proudly. This cute scene made Fong Haoyu stunned again. So cute. Who would have thought that the cold and aloof senior sister who just rejected her junior at the freshman reception would have such a cute side in front of him? Jiang Jian smiled with pride. What's wrong? Falling in love with me? Fong Haoyu came back to his senses, blushing and explaining, how could it be? No way, absolutely not. Jiang Jian's tone was a little disdainful, weak and powerless. Okay, this is building 3. Unknowingly, the two of them had already arrived at building 3. Fong Haoyu said politely, thanks, senior sister, I'll go then. And walked towards the dormitory building. After Fong Haoyu left, Jiang Jian's smile instantly disappeared, and was replaced by her previous iceberg face. It still gave people the impression of being unfriendly. Dormitory 3357. Fong Haoyu confirmed several times. There is no mistake, this is the dormitory. Your dormitory for the next 4 years. Fong Haoyu pushed the door open and entered the dormitory. As soon as he entered, he saw that there was already someone in the dormitory. A boy with a sturdy build and a height of 1.86 meters, who smiled from time to time, was sitting in a chair playing on the computer. For some reason, Fong Haoyu always felt that the boy's smile carried a hint of philosophy. Fong Haoyu recognized at once that he was playing a word game. At this time, he also noticed Fong Haoyu, who was dragging a suitcase. A look of surprise appeared on his face. You are in our dormitory, right? Finally, someone has arrived. Hello, my name is Zhou Ziren, I am from Guangdong. Hello, I'm Fong Haoyu, a native of Jiangcheng. A local, that's great, then when our dorm goes out to play, with you there, we won't step on any thunder. Zhou Ziren said happily. Fong Haoyu, actually, I don't go out often. Apart from playing ball normally, most of the time I just stay at home. Zhou Ziren, do you like to watch anime? Chapter 8 Cheating? Who? It's okay, I watch some anime occasionally. Fong Haoyu glanced at Zhou Ziren's bed. He immediately confirmed Zhou Ziren's preferences. The covers of the pillows were all about the second yuan, and even the walls were covered with photos of this type. This tall guy looks so strong, but I didn't expect him to be a two-pronged salamander. Let's give him a small contrasting label. Where are the others? They haven't arrived yet, but they should be here tonight. Fang Haoyu was tidying up the bed while chatting with him. It can be said that the dormitory has a roommate feeling. After all, he basically didn't interact with anyone outside this summer. Boy friendships are easy to establish. It was just 2.5 hours. The two of them chatted like old friends who hadn't seen each other in years. If you have a chance, come to my house and I'll take you to have morning tea here. Zhou Ziren smiled a little foolishly. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Fang Haoyu got up and went to open the door. Hello. Standing in the doorway was a boy about 1.75 meters tall with an even build and golden skin. He had a smile on his face, revealing a row of white teeth. Paired with the professional sports shorts and tank top he was wearing, it was obvious that he played a lot of ball games. And you are? My name is Yao Yutong, I'm also in dormitory 3357, and I'll be your roommate for the next 4 years. Hello, I'm Fang Haoyu, and this is Zhou Ziren. Fang Haoyu always feels that his name sounds a bit like a girl's. My name sounds like a girl's, doesn't it? Yao Yutong said with a smile. When I first started junior high and high school, I was assigned to the girls' dormitory. Fang Haoyu joked, is that a good thing? Yao Yutong laughed, I almost got beaten up for being a pervert. Yao Yutong is also very outgoing. The three of them became acquainted immediately. Do you play basketball too? Yes. I've been practicing for 2.5 years. Let's go play basketball together sometime. The three of them went to the cafeteria for dinner together. The last roommate arrived in the evening. Hello. I'm your roommate. My name is Ling Jikai. A thin, tall boy with a melon-shaped face entered the dormitory and introduced himself. The 4 people in the dormitory finally got to know each other. It only takes one night for boys to become good friends. And even good fathers and sons. The original appellation was still very polite. After just one night, it became a father and son. The next day, Fang Haoyu got up early and went to buy breakfast after washing up. Zhou Ziren was lying in bed, grinning lewdly. How? Bring me some breakfast. Fang Haoyu said impatiently, get lost. Daddy. Bring me some. And me. Me too. Fang Haoyu sighed, I really can't do anything with you guys. Since it's like this, I'll reluctantly help you bring some breakfast. After he left the dormitory, he sent a message to Hai Jian, the head of the student union. Knowledge learning explodes, head of the student union? Which cafeteria has more beautiful women in the morning? Man's true nature. Fang Haoyu had just arrived at Jiangnan University and definitely wanted to witness the quality of the female college students here. There is absolutely no problem asking a senior about this kind of thing. After all, going to college is about falling in love. You can't just stop because Shenyi hurt you. Thinking about falling in love. An image of someone inexplicably appeared in his mind. It wasn't Shenyi, but Jiang Jian. Fang Haoyu shook his head quickly. What are you thinking? She's the Jiang University campus queen, do you think she'd look at you? He and Jiang Jian were just going through the motions of being engaged. He thought Jiang Jian was very pretty, and he definitely had some feelings for her. But as long as he was a guy, it was impossible for him not to have some feelings for the campus queen. He still knew what kind of person he was. He didn't think he was worthy of Jiang University's #1 campus queen. Girls' dormitory. Yang Xiaoling's tone was a little scared. Jiang, what are you doing? This look is like you want to kill someone. Jiang Jian gritted her teeth and stared at the screen of her phone. Yang Xiaoling swallowed. Jiang, when did you get up with a bad mood? Jiang Jian didn't say anything, but if her eyes could kill, she would have already killed the person on the other side of the screen. Looking at a beauty? Isn't it enough to look at her? Words from the sea, go to the 3rd cafeteria, you'll have a surprise. Fang Haoyu, who had received the message, immediately changed direction. Originally, he had wanted to go to the 1st cafeteria, but since the senior had said that there would be a surprise in the 3rd cafeteria, he definitely wanted to go. What the senior produced was definitely a boutique. Jiang Jian's eyes were cold. I'm going to buy breakfast. What do you want to eat? I'll bring it for you. Yang Xiaoling, bring it for me? Why do you suddenly want to bring breakfast for yourself? Just now, there was a feeling of anger, and now you want to bring breakfast for yourself? What's going on? Yang Xiaoling was a little confused for a moment. This was the first time she couldn't understand her best friend. Jiang Jian's expression did not change at all. Just send me a WeChat message with what you want to buy, I'm leaving first. She left Yang Xiaoling standing there, confused. Something's wrong. Something's very wrong. Why does it feel like I've eaten a bomb? Although Jiang Jian didn't show it obviously, Yang Xiaoling could feel that she was a little unhappy. Canteen 3. As soon as Fang Haoyu entered the third cafeteria, he saw a lot of girls. He is worthy of the title of senior. He really has good taste. Knowledge explosion, senior, this is indeed a pretty good surprise. There are indeed more girls in the third cafeteria. After buying breakfast, Fang Haoyu found a seat and planned to enjoy his meal while admiring the view. Suddenly, a woman entered the door. Her long hair fell down her back like a waterfall, slightly fluttering. The beauty of her face immediately attracted Fang Haoyu's attention. Of course, he wasn't the only one. Everyone else in the cafeteria was also drawn to her. Why is she here? Fang Haoyu was slightly surprised. No. Isn't it normal for her to be here? The senior said that there are a lot of beautiful women in the third cafeteria, and it turns out that the school beauty will also come to the third cafeteria. Jiang Jian saw Fang Haoyu sitting in the corner at a glance. Humph. I've found you. Jiang Jian walked straight to Fang Haoyu's seat in the midst of everyone's gaze and sat down. Here to see a beauty? Jiang Jian said coldly. Cough. What? Fang Haoyu coughed and choked on the soy milk in his mouth. Ha? Senior, how did you know? Jiang Jian's pretty face flushed slightly. You stared at me as soon as I came in, and I could tell right away what you were up to. Fang Haoyu looked puzzled. What's wrong with a gentleman admiring beauty? What's wrong with you? You don't seem to be in a good mood? Jiang Jian glared at him, furious. Someone is about to cheat, how can I be in a good mood? Cheat? Who? Who? So outrageous? Jiang Jian looked at him with resentment. Are you really stupid or just pretending to be? You. Chapter 9. I don't think you understand at all. Me? Fang Haoyu looked confused. Fortunately, the two of them weren't speaking very loudly. No one around could hear. Although many people looked over, no one dared to go over and listen. Jiang Jian's personality made these people afraid to approach. Otherwise, she wouldn't be called the Ice Queen. What they didn't know was that the ice was only for them. Jiang Jian said discontentedly, we've already gotten our marriage certificate, so don't you have the intention of cheating on me by coming to the third cafeteria to look at pretty girls? Fang Haoyu was slightly startled. Are you kidding? Didn't we pretend to get our marriage certificate? Is Jiang University's most beautiful girl jealous? Because she saw other beautiful women? Is this a dream? Jiang Jian began to play dumb. Pretend to get a marriage certificate? When did I say that? We had a good discussion at the time. Fang Haoyu was confused. Jiang Jian raised her eyebrows, slightly playfully said, so were we carrying a fake certificate at the time? This has legal effect. Fang Haoyu? He then realized that she had let him alone. Fang Haoyu was a little overwhelmed. So what do you mean? Jiang Jian, I'm not teasing you anymore. You said it was a fake marriage certificate, so naturally I won't care about you. Fang Haoyu tentatively asked, really? Jiang Jian, no. Fang Haoyu? Jiang Jian looked indifferent. Since we now have this marriage certificate in name, you can't find a girlfriend before you get divorced. Fang Haoyu, huh? Finding a girlfriend while married is cheating, it's immoral, and I'm doing this for your own good. Fang Haoyu's mind was a little confused. Is that so? I feel like I've been CPU'd. Jiang Jian smiled indifferently. Don't worry, I won't find one either. We have to abide by the marriage law. Fang Haoyu said with difficulty, is there no way? A university without dating is not perfect. Jiang Jian's mouth slightly curled up. There is one more way. Fang Haoyu inquired curiously, what way? Jiang Jian hooked her hand. Come here. Fang Haoyu put his ear close. Jiang Jian gently put her lips close to Fang Haoyu's ear. Fang Haoyu could smell the faint fragrance of Jiang Jian on his body. Jiang Jian's tone became gentle. You can fall in love with me. Fong Haoyu's ears instantly turned red. Senior, are you serious? His heartbeat couldn't help but quicken. Jiang Jian gave a playful smile. Just teasing you. Looking at Jiang Jian in front of him, with a smile on her face like a blooming flower. Fong Haoyu almost dropped the soy milk in his hands. Was he being manipulated? Did she buy this breakfast for me? Jiang Jian asked lightly. Fong Haoyu was about to shake his head, but he subconsciously nodded. Thank you for buying me breakfast, little brother. Then Jiang Jian took the breakfast away directly. Fong Haoyu, big sister, this is. Reacting to it. He was already late. This is the breakfast he bought for his sons. But never mind, just buy another one. Fong Haoyu touched the position of his heart. Thinking about what Jiang Jian had said just now, leaning against his ear. His heart beat very fast. Stop it. No, don't really stop, I'll let you slow down. Fong Haoyu closed his eyes, and the scene just now was all in his mind. What's wrong with me? I seem to be moved. Jiang, why did you buy 3? Yang Xiaoling's big eyes were full of confusion. Jiang Jian looked indifferent. I was afraid you wouldn't have enough, so I bought an extra one. Yang Xiaoling, oh. You're so sweet. Ha? I didn't say I wanted to buy this kind of bun. Eat it if you like it, or give it to me if you don't. I'll eat it. I'm starving. Yang Xiaoling hurriedly started to protect her food. The boys' dormitory. Sons, Daddy's home. Fong Haoyu returns to the dormitory with 3 new breakfasts in his hands. Zhou Ziren licks his lips, his face full of hunger. Daddy, let me see what you bought me. Fong Haoyu frowns. You're disgusting. Daddy, me too. Me too. Soon the 3 breakfasts are all gone, snatched by the sons. Watching his sons happily eating their breakfast, Fong Haoyu feels a sense of accomplishment. Sons, Daddy loves you. Fong Haoyu returned to his table. His phone's notification sounded. Hi Jian, so? How were the beauties in the 3rd cafeteria? Ziyx Weibo, I didn't really look, I was just looking at the senior. Hi Jian, which senior? Ziyx Weibo, Jiang University's campus queen. I saw her in the cafeteria today. Hi Jian, what do you think of her? Fong Haoyu pondered for a moment. If he was going to comment on the senior, he definitely had to be objective. Knowledge explosion, I think she's very pretty, Jiang University's #1 beauty is well deserved. Hi Jian, do you like her? Fong Haoyu felt that the senior was not a stranger, and had been quite nice to him, so he could tell him his innermost thoughts. Knowledge explosion, to be honest, senior, I actually like her a little. Every time I see her, I feel my heart racing, but she is Jiang University's beauty queen, so the probability of her liking me is not high. Jiang Jian's lips curled up into a faint smile. You like me but don't dare to say so to my face? For some reason, she felt sweet inside. Since arriving at Jiangda University, Jiang Jian had received expressions of love from countless people. She had never felt anything. But Fong Haoyu's words made her face flush slightly. Jiang, why are you blushing? It's so hot. No way? The air conditioning is on low, I'm cold, are you running a fever? Don't worry about it. Jiang Jian knew how Fong Haoyu felt about her. It could be said that the initiative was already in his hands. Then she had to flirt with her future husband. Jiang Jian couldn't help but mutter in her heart, geez, Jiang Jian, when did you become so bad as to flirt with your junior? No, I was always this bad. Boys' dormitory. Military training starts tomorrow. I don't want military training. Zhou Ziren was lying lifeless on the bed, looking exhausted. It looks like you've had too much to drink. You're so strong, but you look so weak. Yao Yutong said disdainfully. I'm weak? How dare you say that to your father? Do you want to try? Zhou Ziren finished, revealing a philosophical expression and smiling at Yao Yutong. Then he got off the bed and walked towards Yao Yutong's bed. Seeing this, Yao Yutong felt a chill run down her back. What's with that expression? Oops. What are you doing? You can't do that here. Zhou Ziren revealed a lewd expression and directly lay on top of Yao Yutong, starting to rub against her in various ways. Damn it. You're disgusting. So this is what you're like. Fong Haoyu couldn't help but exclaim. This is so philosophical. I have to film it. Are you taking pictures? Zhou Ziren frowned. Fang Haoyu quickly put his phone away, saying, no. Zhou Ziren licked his tongue and revealed a lewd smile. I don't think you understand at all. No, brother Jie. Chapter 10, Zhou Ziren's contrasting performance. Attention. Face to the left. Small steps in line. Look forward. At ease. I am your instructor. I have a few rules here, and I must declare in advance that the first point. Military training has begun. Fang Haoyu had dark circles under his eyes. Last night, the three of them in the dormitory were all taken by Zhou Ziren's philosophy. None of the three were spared. Zhou Ziren is a big guy, but he's also very philosophical. The three of them were disgusted by him. Plus, after the four of them finished fooling around last night, they talked for a long time. They talked about everything from the beautiful legs they saw that day to national affairs and then to the history of the three kingdoms. As a result, they had to get up at 6:30 the next day to gather. The four of them almost died of sudden death on the spot. Half an hour of military posture. If you move, you will be reported. Otherwise, add 10 minutes. Then the instructor began to pace back and forth constantly. His eyes stared at everyone. No one dared to breathe. Everyone's head was raised. Except for these four little ones. These four teenagers who had eased the country's worries last night were frantically nodding their heads at this moment. Naturally, the instructor also saw these four people nodding frantically. For students, I am not Buddha, you don't need to bow to me. The instructor wore a smile, but there was a hint of bitterness in his smile. Step out. Fang Haoyu, Zhou Ziren, Ya Yutong, and Ling Jikai. All four of them were pulled out. You guys, very good. The instructor laughed. The playground is behind you, 10 laps. Did you hear me? I don't want to say it again. Yes. Pain was written all over the four faces. Who started the topic last night? The four people came to the edge of the playground and ran while shaking the pot. Who was it? It's all Zhou Ziren's fault. Last night he had to philosophize about other people. Wash it clean and wait for me tonight. I was wrong. Sit down and rest. Sit slower. Do it again. Stand up. Sit down. Finally getting some rest, everyone seemed to come back to life. Fang Haoyu just collapsed on the ground. Was this training people or training dogs? They were told to stand, to sit, and if they sat slowly, they had to do it again. The key point was that they were happier sitting down than dogs. Fang Haoyu felt like floating in the air, and felt like passing out at any moment. It's so hot. It's so hot. It's no use applying sunscreen, my skin is burning. Why can't military training be in winter? Ziren Zhou's face is pale, as if he has just run a few times. You're not going to die suddenly, are you? Haoyu Fang frowned. Yutong Yao turned around, damn it. How many times did you reward yourself last night? Your lips are so white. Ling Jikai looked at his own figure and then at Zhou Ziren's, and teased, why are you even more frail than me? Zhou Ziren's face was pale, but that didn't stop him from retorting, how can a dead sugar cane compare to your father? Tonight, you'll get a taste of the power of philosophy. Fang Haoyu, come on, I feel like a gust of wind could blow you to pieces right now. The 10-minute break passed quickly. Everyone stood up. After the wailing, it was the military stance again. The younger students are training on the playground. Many older students have come to the bleachers to watch the freshmen training while eating ice cream and watermelon. The younger students watching this scene can't help but feel very uncomfortable. This is considered a tradition, and they hate the sight of other people's umbrellas when they themselves have been caught in the rain. Afternoon. Singing military songs. The instructor first taught everyone to sing Unity is Strength. After everyone had learned it, everyone stood up. Everyone had a question mark on their face. The instructor said coldly, I think everyone has learned it. It's time to show the other company our cohesion. Whoever doesn't sing well will be punished with military postures. The classic song jamming session. If this session didn't beat the other company, it would be a disgrace to the instructor. You have to know that the instructors have a strong desire to win. If the instructor's face is lost, they will be in big trouble. They still had to train in the evening. However, they were given an hour's break. This time belonged to the program performances. There were singing and dancing. The companies of the Information College gathered together, leaving a large space in the middle. Has anyone come up to perform? Instructor Wang looked at the crowd and asked. Fang Haoyu's class was from the 7th company, and the instructor's surname was Wang. Although this part was said to be a program performance, it was also a place where the instructors secretly competed with each other. The instructors all hope that a few people from their company can go on stage and act cool. Long Face is partly to blame for this. But it seems that everyone is probably a little shy on the first day. So no one has come forward. Other companies have already started performing on stage. Some have even gone up and performed Cohen's famous dance. The atmosphere is electric. Wow! Cohen. When instructor Wang saw that the other companies were able to get the atmosphere going, of course he didn't want to be outdone. No one is performing, right? The 4 people who ran this morning stepped forward. The 4 people in room 3357 had a black expression. It's over. Most likely, they are going to be singled out as replacements. Instructor Wang grinned evilly. It's your turn to perform. Discuss among yourselves and come up with at least 2 performances. Get ready to come to our company. I don't want to see our company without anyone stepping forward. Go discuss it among yourselves. The 4 of them looked at each other. Fang Haoyu, let's play rock paper scissors. To be honest, it's not that he doesn't have a program, but mainly because he is still a little socially anxious, so can you please try not to go on? Good. Yao Yutong nodded. Zhou Ziren said indifferently, I don't need it, you 3 choose one, I can go up and perform. The 3 were a little confused. This philosophical brother actually has a program? It's not going to be performing philosophy, is it? Zhou Ziren felt the strange looks from the others and said angrily, what kind of eyes do you have? Not filial at all. The 3 of them withdrew their gaze, afraid that they would be lectured on filial piety by this guy that night. Rock, paper, scissors. Damn it. Fang Haoyu looked at the 2 fingers in his hand and his face fell. If he had known earlier, he would not have played scissors. Yes, he lost. So he and Zhou Ziren had to perform a show on stage. Zhou Ziren, let Dad go first. Fang Haoyu. 1.86 meters tall, with a strong build. Everyone thought that Zhou Ziren was going to perform some macho sport like one-handed push-ups. Unexpectedly, he played a song called Pure Land Bliss. Everyone present had a dumbfounded expression on their faces. Especially the guys in room 3357. They exploded with emoticons, seriously? Dude. You came with this? The music started. Zhou Ziren started dancing. To be precise, he started to wriggle. Stomp, 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 stomp. The atmosphere in the audience exploded. Regardless of his appearance, Zhou Ziren danced this piece of bliss very well. At this time, the people in room 3357 could only describe Zhou Ziren in 2 words, awesome. He was no worse than the girls when it came to wriggling. It can be said that he danced much better than the previous street dance performances. The previous ones were all considered novice skills, but Zhou Ziren obviously practiced. Paired with his kind of wretched philosophical face, the contrast came immediately. It even made the other college teams unable to resist and come over to watch. Chapter 11, Relieved. Fang Haoyu silently gave a thumbs up. No wonder Zhou Ziren was so confident, it turned out he had practiced. The macho leap to the Pure Land had a unique flavor. Not far from the playground. Jiang, look, there are people over there doing the macho leap to the Pure Land. The jump is quite good, it's just that the smile is a bit lewd. Yang Xiaoling dragged Jiang Jian over to watch the performance. Jiang Jian's brows furrowed slightly. Why can't I find him? The lights weren't particularly bright at night, and with all the new students gathered together, she couldn't find which company belonged to the School of Information Science. It seems to be from the School of Information Science. I saw that person at the new student reception before. Yang Xiaoling said. Originally, she was still dragging Jiang Jian along. The next second, Jiang Jian directly dragged her towards the company of the School of Information Science, and her pace quickened. Yang Xiaoling had a face full of question marks. Why is she more anxious than I am? What's going on? Does Jiang like watching macho men dance in such a contrasting way? Could it be that Jiang is also a contrast? Yang Xiaoling shook her head. How could it be? How could the cold goddess be a contrast? Zhou Ziren's performance made him the brightest star in the whole room. Next, it was Fang Haoyu's turn to perform. Fang Haoyu planned to use the simplest performance method. He came to the stage with an extra microphone in his hand. Yes, he planned to sing. This is one of the few talents he can show off. He often practices singing at home. Especially when he is taking a shower, he often transforms into a singing god. A song called Rewind is dedicated to everyone. As the accompaniment slowly sounded, everyone became quiet. The sound system was not very good, and the accompaniment was rustling, but it still did not affect everyone's hands from swinging. Fang Haoyu took a deep breath, gently closed his eyes, and slowly spoke. I'm tired of waiting. Your so-called arrangements. How long does it take? You always want me to be good. Plan the future slowly. I want to rely on you, but you're not there. Fang Haoyu recalled the bits and pieces of his relationship with Xin Yi in his mind. His voice was low and full of emotion, giving a kind of indescribable sadness. It was a feeling of losing love. The people at the scene were originally high on Zhou Ziren's blissful Pure Land. As soon as Fang Haoyu spoke, everyone fell silent and immersed themselves in his singing. The mood instantly became emo. The microphone and sound quality were poor, but for Fang Haoyu, it didn't matter much. Not far away. Jiang, this boy sings so well. It's not even 12 o'clock and I can't help being emo. Oh no, give me a piece of paper. Although Yang Xiaoling had never been in love, hearing this song, she felt a sense of heartbreak. Jiang? Yang Xiaoling didn't get a response and looked back. Jiang Jian said indifferently, what are you looking at? Yang Xiaoling, it's nothing, I just wanted to say that it was really beautiful. Jiang Jian, I agree. After Yang Xiaoling turned back, she couldn't help wiping away the tears in the corner of her eyes. Thank you all. Fang Haoyu forced a smile after he finished singing. He thought to himself, I can let go now. From this moment on, he completely let go of Xin Yi in his heart. Girls' dormitory. Yang Xiaoling watched the video she had recorded on the playground and reminisced. It was really a beautiful song. I felt like I had been in a relationship. Is this Junior from the School of Information Science? He is quite handsome. Jiang Jian suddenly paused. You recorded a video? Yang Xiaoling, I was originally recording the Junior who was dancing, but I didn't expect the Junior singing in the background to sing so beautifully, so I couldn't help recording it. Jiang Jian, send me a copy. Yang Xiaoling, huh? Don't send the wrong one, I want the one singing, not the one dancing. She was a little suspicious of her own ears. The iceberg goddess actually asked her for a video of a man singing? But she quickly figured it out. The way he sang was so beautiful, it was perfect for listening to when she was feeling emo at night. Before long, Jiang Jian's phone played the song Fang Haoyu performed in the playground tonight. She could tell what Fang Haoyu meant by this song. She had also heard about this from Uncle Fang. That person didn't know how to cherish. But she was different. Then a little boy appeared in her memory. The next day, there were a lot more videos of Fang Haoyu singing on the confession wall. Wall. Help me fish out this boy. Code on. This boy sings so well, does anyone know him? Can you give me your contact information? At this time, Fang Haoyu was about to be sunburnt. He hated himself for not injuring his leg before military training. While everyone was standing in military posture in the hot sun, there was a girl with an umbrella on the playground. She was wearing a long white dress like a fairy, and she walked quietly to the front of the bleachers and sat down. Isn't that Jiang Jian? The #1 school beauty at Jiangda University. She's actually here to watch military training? These younger students are really blessed. The others around them were talking excitedly. Fortunately, not many people came to watch the younger students' military training. And with Jiang Jian's personality, no one dared to approach her. The company closest to her was the 7th company of the School of Information Science. She just stared quietly ahead, like a fairy, and no one dared to approach. Rest. Sit down. The rest time was also over. Fang Haoyu had actually felt Jiang Jian's gaze. He always felt that Jiang Jian was here to see him. But he didn't want to show it. What if he was being narcissistic? She wasn't necessarily here to see him. Ling Jikai leaned over and showed an admiring expression. Holy shit. Jiang University's most beautiful girl, she's really gorgeous. Whoever gets to be her boyfriend is definitely blessed for 8 lifetimes. Fan Haoyu gave him a dirty look. Can you be as reserved as me? Ling Jikai, no, man, you're still holding back. Why do I feel like her gaze is always looking over here? Is she looking at me? Ling Jikai narcissistically touched his face. Yao Yutong, she would like a body like yours? It should be mine, it looks like I exercise a lot. As she said, Yao Yutong lifted her shoulders to show off her muscles. Fan Haoyu, Zhou Ziren? Why aren't you looking? Don't you even look at the school beauty? At the moment, almost all the boys in the playground looked at Jiang Jian from time to time. But Zhou Ziren actually managed to resist looking? Zhou Ziren shrugged, what's there to look at, I only like Sanyu. Fan Haoyu. At this moment, a girl with a ponytail, about 1.6 meters tall, wearing a JK uniform and holding an umbrella arrived at the 7th company. Her gaze locked on Fan Haoyu, who was sitting in the back. She walked straight towards him. The others in room 3357 all stared at this scene in disbelief. Which one? Junior, can I have your contact information? Fan Haoyu pointed at himself and asked in confusion, me? Chapter 12 Jiang, are you in love? The people around him started to make noise. In particular, his 3 roommates were listening attentively. Wow. Zhou Ziren started to help out. She came out in the scorching sun to ask you for WeChat, and you're not going to give it to her? The other students also started to make noise. Wow. Fan Haoyu suddenly felt a chill behind him. His gaze immediately fell on the schoolgirl sitting at the front of the bleachers. A faint smile was on the corner of her mouth. No, it was a sneer. Fan Haoyu remembered what she had said to him at the time. This is marital infidelity. I'm sorry, I'm married. The girl froze in place. Married? Ling Jikai hurriedly came out to smooth things over. No. He's actually a bit crazy. Senior, don't mind him, or do you want my WeChat? I'm actually quite good at singing. The girl shook her head, I don't like 2 skinny guys. Then she left. Ling Jikai's smile froze, and he collapsed into Fan Haoyu's lap. It hurts. It hurts so much. I helped her out, and she actually humiliated me, woo-woo. Zhou Ziren couldn't help gloating, dead sugarcane, who would want your child's body? You deserve it, ha ha ha. Fan Haoyu glanced over secretly and noticed that Jiang Jian's face had returned to its previous aloofness. What's going on? He was a little confused. She was quite aloof when there were a lot of people around, but she could talk quite a lot when she was with him. He actually had no intention of giving the girl his contact information. Because he didn't know it, Jiang Jian had already entered his heart. He always felt that Jiang Jian also had a good impression of him. He was just afraid that if he took that step, the outcome would be the same as last time. Shani also gave him the impression that she liked him at the time, but in the end? So his heart was very conflicted. Just as he was racking his brains, Jiang Jian stood up from the bleachers, still holding a bottle of water in her hand. She walked over to the 7th company and handed the water to Fan Haoyu. Fan Haoyu, how did you know I didn't bring any water? Jiang Jian said indifferently, it's for you. Fan Haoyu mechanically accepted the water, his mind a little blank. Ha? She's giving him water in front of so many people? Although the 2 of them had gotten married, he knew that they weren't really together in the true sense of the word. Moreover, Jiang Jian is the iceberg goddess at Jiangda University, a cold goddess, and the image of her giving him water in front of so many people really scared him. Jiang Jian's expression did not change, but you could tell that her cheeks were slightly flushed. This was the first time she had given a boy water. And in front of so many people. Thank you, Shueji. Fan Haoyu's heartbeat could not stop accelerating. After delivering the water, Jiang Jian left directly. Fan Haoyu looked at the water in his hands, and his heart, which had been quiet, began to flutter. The freshmen who saw this scene were dumbfounded. What was the relationship between these 2? Why was the school flower able to get the senior to deliver water to her? This is Jiang University's #1 school flower. For a moment, countless pairs of jealous, envious eyes stared at Fan Haoyu. Even Ling Jikai, who had turned into a rival, stared at him fiercely. Son, when did you find a daughter-in-law? Zhou Ziren, what's going on? Are you single? Or are you with the school beauty queen? No wonder you didn't give that older girl your WeChat ID. Yao Yutong, doing great things in silence? Fang Haoyu said in a bad mood, can Jiang Jian even look at me? I don't even know her. Of course, how could he not know Jiang Jian? They've already received their marriage certificate. Do you think he knows her? It's just that he didn't want them to misunderstand that the two of them were actually not in a relationship. Plus, he wasn't sure if Jiang Jian really had those feelings for him. Then why did she give you water? Maybe she's just a fan. Fang Haoyu indulged in a little narcissism. Don't you know what kind of person your father is? He's so charming, it's not impossible for the school beauty queen to be attracted to him, is it? EW. If she's attracted to you, I'll just eat her. Ling Jikai put on a disgusted expression. I didn't realize you were so narcissistic. I like it, come to my bed tonight. Zhou Ziren gave a lewd, leering smile. Fang Haoyu hurriedly begged for mercy. I'm sorry, brother Jia, please let me off. Girls' dormitory. Jiang Jiang, are you in love? Yang Shaoling asked with slight dissatisfaction. Jiang Jian's expression froze. Who told you that? What are you talking about? Yang Shaoling, if you're not in love, why do you keep going out every day lately? I'm like an old widow now, oh. Jiang Jian glared at her impatiently. You really know how to fill in the blanks. She really wasn't in love. Getting a certificate is not equal to being in love. The inequality is instant. Military training is over. This also means that the real college life is about to begin. Fang Haoyu really wanted to say it this time, 2 weeks. Do you know how I spent these 2 weeks? 2 weeks of military training are over. Classes start tomorrow. What? Calculus at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm taking 8 o'clock. Zhou Ziren looked at the class schedule and almost fainted. He hated math the most. Fang Haoyu's math grades were okay, but he also hated math. He got good grades but didn't like it. What are you doing? Ling Jikai looked curiously at Fang Haoyu's screen. Fang Haoyu said indifferently, my part-time job. Ling Jikai, writing novels? That's amazing. Fang Haoyu sighed, what's amazing about it? I'm barely earning enough to cover living expenses, and I haven't had time to write during military training. My readers are threatening to send me blades. Yes, although Fang Haoyu spent most of the summer at home. He found a part-time job that suited him. A part-time job that didn't require him to go out. That is to be a part-time online writer. However, his level is average, barely earning 2,000 to 3,000. Although his father will give him living expenses, 3,000 a month, plus what he earns himself, he can make 6,000 a month. 6,000 a month, if he saves up, he won't have to always look at his father's face when he has more money. He can also buy game equipment and go on vacation. And there is another reason why he writes novels, because he likes to read them himself. What kind of writing do you do? Esports writing, about games. Isn't there a class meeting tomorrow? Zhou Ziren suddenly said. It seems to be the work of the class election. Fang Haoyu shook his head, it's not my business. I'm more of a slacker. It's not worth the effort to be a class officer, and no dog would want to be one. Ling Jikai, I won't do it either. Zhou Ziren, I won't do it either. Yao Yutong, I want to be the secretary of the Youth League branch. Fang Haoyu looked puzzled, you're going to be the secretary of the Youth League branch? Yao Yutong smiled and said, I really want to improve. Fang Haoyu, have you eaten, League branch secretary? Yao Yutong immediately put on an official tone, has the people eaten? Ha 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 ha. Who sent these? I don't know who sent them, but I remember who didn't send them perfectly. Yao Yutong's official tone amused the others. You are born to be progressive, and you should be the League branch secretary. Don't worry, if you vote for me, you'll get a lot of benefits. Can you answer for us during roll call? That's the duty of the class monitor. Chapter 13, The Wedding Room. Yao Yutong became the secretary of the Youth League branch as she wished. Leader. Isn't this the big leader? Come over quickly. As soon as Yao Yutong came down, everyone in 3357 started teasing her. Time passed quickly. Just after a week of classes, the Mid-Autumn Festival holiday arrived. Finally no more classes, how you? You're going back? Zhou Ziren asked while watching the latest episode. Fang Haoyu nodded, my family is local, I definitely have to go back for the Mid-Autumn Festival, my parents must miss me. After saying this, he left the dormitory with a school bag on his back. Dad! Open the door! Your son is back. I'm at the door. Fang Haoyu called his old man. Why did you come back? Fang Ling didn't open the door. Fang Haoyu looked puzzled. Don't you miss me? I miss your mother, not you. Do. Fang Haoyu? Looking at the phone that had been hung up, Fang Haoyu was silent. What a real father. Isn't Mid-Autumn Festival a time for reunions? How could he not let his son go home? Just as he was considering whether to go back to the dormitory, Jiang sent him a location. Your father wants you to stay here. What's going on? Fang Haoyu was a little confused. He checked the location. It was a small apartment complex very close to Jiangnan University. Could it be that my father bought me a house? Fang Haoyu quickly dismissed this idea. Although his father had a bit of money, it was unlikely that he would buy him a house. He probably just rented it for him? But as long as he could live there, he had already said that he was going home. If he went back to the dormitory and they found out that I had been kicked out by my parents, I would definitely be ridiculed by these sons. And he had to guard against Zhou Ziren's philosophical attacks at night. I can't go back to the dormitory. Fang Haoyu chose to go to the community. I'm here. 12th building, 1501, come up by yourself. Fang Haoyu had just walked to the door, and before he could knock, the door opened. As soon as the door opened, a stunningly beautiful woman came into view. Jiang was wearing a thin nightgown and shorts, showing off her graceful figure. Fang Haoyu's eyes widened in amazement. Jade shoulders, jade legs, jade feet. No. Everything that's jade will only harm you. Fang Haoyu shook his head and dismissed those impure thoughts from his mind. Senior? You live here? Come in, the slippers are inside the shoe cabinet. Jiang looked indifferent and did not answer his question right away. Fang Haoyu hurriedly came in and changed into the slippers. Pink? This is too girly. He looked at the pair of pink slippers on his feet and there was even a rabbit pattern. It's just too girly. He is a pure man. Jiang gave a playful smile. Is pink so pretty? The bunny is so cute, how can you say it's hot? Ha? Just now, before entering, Jiang looked quite aloof. Why did she start to come alive as soon as the door closed? Could it be that she is very different in private? Fang Haoyu glanced at Jiang's feet. No, it's slippers. He noticed that they were the same model, but hers were blue and the pattern was a big gray wolf. Could they be a matching pair? Fang Haoyu's cheeks flushed slightly. Why did he feel like a young rabbit entering a wolf's den? Senior, you still haven't answered me. Why are you here? Jiang shrugged. I've been here for a long time, I've been living here for a year. Jade shoulder. Fang Haoyu withdrew his gaze. No, I can't look anymore, my attention keeps wandering to strange places. Wait a minute? You've been living here for a year? Didn't my dad rent this for me? I bought it for you. What? You bought it for me? When did my father treat me so well? Before, he said that if we didn't get married, he would cut the alimony in half. Fang Haoyu's face was full of surprise. He had a house before he graduated. He didn't rely on anyone else, it was all because of his hardworking parents. Fang Haoyu, that's not right, my father bought me a house, why are you here? Jiang's lips curled into a faint smile, because this is the house that Dad bought for us to get married in. A wedding house? Fang Haoyu was dumbfounded. Jiang gave a sly smile. We've already got our marriage certificate, so my dad is your dad, right? One family, no need to say two. Fang Haoyu then realized that this was the wedding house that Uncle Jiang had bought for the two of them. Looking at Jiang's triumphant smile, Fang Haoyu swallowed. How did he feel like he had entered a den of wolves, or a beautiful big she-wolf? Jiang, in the future, you will have to stay here on weekends, and of course you can stay here during the week. Fang Haoyu, why? Jiang pretended to be pitiful and said, can you bear to let your wife stay alone in the empty house? After saying that, she blinked her big, watery eyes. Fang Haoyu's heart started pounding. Wasn't this a fake marriage? Why was it going in such a strange direction? No way, I have to refuse. A Sigma man would never. Okay, Fang Haoyu nodded. Looking at Jiang Jian's big, pitiful eyes, he really couldn't say no. Plus, he did have feelings for Jiang Jian. So he allowed the Sigma man to become a Don Sigma man for once. My room, Fong Haoyu pointed inside. This room is still very large, with 4 bedrooms and a living room. It can be seen that Jiang Jian's father still treats her very well. Jiang Jian raised an eyebrow. Let me show you around our wedding room. He kept saying that this was the wedding room. Fong Haoyu felt like they were really married. But it seems like it's really the case. After all, the certificate is real. Soon he was shocked by this wedding room. There is a room specially set up as an esports room. 2 computers. Jiang Jian, I got this especially for you. Do you like it? The graphics card is a 4090, so you can rest assured about the configuration. 4090. Fong Haoyu couldn't hold back any longer. He ran over directly and gently stroked the equipment of this computer. He used gaming laptops at school, which were considered gaming gods, and he never imagined that there would be an esports room here. The equipment is also so high-end. Isn't it? Who would still stay in the dormitory on weekends in the future? He would rather die here. Seeing Fong Haoyu's expression, Jiang Jian's mouth curled slightly. Heh, a man? You can be controlled with just a slight move. Fong Haoyu said excitedly, can I play on 2 in the future? Jiang Jian glared at him, there's another one that's mine. What are you thinking? She really wanted to kick this straight man to death. It's obvious when there are 2 computers. Pig brain. Idiot. Fong Haoyu, you play games? Seeing his questioning gaze, Jiang Jian shrugged, I can beat you up. The man's desire to win suddenly rose. Fong Haoyu sneered with disdain, Sister Jiang, I'm not bragging, if you can beat me at my specialty game, I'll listen to you in this family, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. Jiang Jian's mouth curled slightly, you promise? Then she held out her pinky swear. Fong Haoyu laughed, are you a child? You're still crossing your fingers? Despite his words, his hand unconsciously reached out. It's so soft. Is this really your hand, senior? Fong Haoyu's face couldn't help but turn slightly red, and this was already not known to be the first time he had blushed today. Cross your fingers and you're stuck like that for 100 years. Jiang Jian giggled. Wait. Why does this scene feel a little familiar? Chapter 14 Only 1 bedroom? Fong Haoyu frowned. This scene seemed to have been seen somewhere before. But he really couldn't remember. Unconsciously, his hand was interlocked with Jiang Jian's little hand. Jiang Jian's pretty face turned slightly red, and she said softly, what's wrong? Do you like my hands a lot? Fong Haoyu reacted quickly and hurriedly let go. No, I'm sorry, Jiang Xuejie, I didn't mean it. Jiang Jian touched his face, just call me senior sister, there's no need to add the word. Jiang. What's wrong with your face? It's so hot. No, it's fine, maybe it's just too hot. Fong Haoyu looked like a frightened little rabbit. He quickly ran to the bathroom to wash his face. Jiang Jian looked at his back lovingly. Did this little fool just remember something? Fong Haoyu washed his face and took a deep breath. Just by clasping hands with his senior sister, his face couldn't help but turn red. This was the first time he had been so close to another girl. It was also the first time he had held another girl's hand. Jiang Jian smirked, so you are still a pure young boy. Fong Haoyu blushed and explained, what are you talking about? I'm just a little hot. You can say what you like touching my hand, don't you? Jiang Jian raised an eyebrow and looked at him playfully. Fong Haoyu turned his head away with a blush, no I don't. Jiang Jian slowly approached him, hooked his chin with her finger, and said, stupid junior, you can't even tell a lie. If you like holding your senior's hand, just say so. We're even licensed. Fong Haoyu's face was now red up to his neck. He didn't dare to even look at her. His heart was pounding. This was still the cold and aloof senior from Jiangcheng University, the goddess of ice? She's about to play with me to death. The atmosphere was extremely ambiguous. Jiang Jian's mouth slightly rose. She felt like she was teasing an innocent young man. Little White Rabbit Jr., heh, Big Bad Wolf Sr. is here. Just as Fong Haoyu closed his eyes and was about to let her do whatever she wanted, he noticed that Jiang Jian was holding her phone and taking a picture of him. Fong Haoyu? Jiang Jian couldn't stop laughing. I'm sorry, that expression of yours is so funny. Just now, Fang Haoyu's expression had a feeling of being at the mercy of others. After taking the picture, she even waved it in Fang Haoyu's face. Fang Haoyu saw in the photo that his expression of being at someone else's mercy also carried a hint of enjoyment. This photo of me is a bit sick, isn't it? I'm a decent person. Fang Haoyu pouted and pleaded, Senior. I beg you. Delete it. Jiang Jian gave a dark smile and said, Little White Rabbit Jr., it depends on your performance. Help. Who exactly said that Jiang Jian was a cold goddess? Fang Haoyu wanted to cry but had no tears. She's practically a female gangster. No. She should be a really pretty female gangster. If I live here alone, will my senior sister peek at me in the shower? What are you thinking about? Judging by your little expression, it seems like you're quite enjoying it. I'm right, where's my bedroom? Fang Haoyu quickly changed the subject. Jiang Jian, didn't I just introduce it to you? Fang Haoyu frowned, wait, but after you finished introducing it, there was only one master bedroom left. Are you saying I have to live in the esports room? Fang Haoyu suddenly became a little agitated. It's worth living in the esports room. Jiang Jian's originally raised mouth corners froze. I really want to spit him out with a mouthful of salt soda. After saying all this, don't you understand? Jiang Jian snorted, there is no bed in the esports room, where will you sleep? The floor? Fang Haoyu, where am I going to sleep? I can't sleep on the sofa in the living room, can I? Jiang Jian pretended to be very troubled, so what should we do? In that case, you'll have to share the same room as me. Fang Haoyu heard this and hurriedly waved his hands, no. You really don't have to go to all this trouble. Sleeping with an older sister is a stimulating image just thinking about it. But he is a gentleman, how can he take advantage of other people? Jiang Jian said impatiently, just sleep with me. She had gone out on a limb, so how could this idiot not understand what she meant? Fang Haoyu also didn't expect her to get angry, so he said helplessly, I'll stay. Jiang Jian gave him a fierce glare, is it a big deal to sleep with me? What's that look on your face? Are you a sissy? She was also feeling aggrieved. She was Jiang University's #1 beauty queen. Yet this guy was disgusted with her. In fact, Fang Haoyu did not dislike her, but in his eyes, Jiang Jian was holy and he did not dare to defile her. Fang Haoyu wanted to cry but had no tears, I'll do whatever you say. Come here. Jiang Jian gave him a wink. Fang Haoyu obediently came over. Jiang Jian lightly put her feet together and stroked his head gently with her hand. She said in a sweet tone, no more grievances. Will you obediently listen to me? Fang Haoyu almost couldn't help but hug her. Senior, you're so cute. So soothing. Well, I'm not aggrieved. Jiang Jian patiently explained, I didn't decorate this house, my father did. Everything is decorated according to the couple, such as slippers and so on. So it's not unusual to only have one bedroom? And I'm a young girl, what are you afraid of? Are you plotting something against me? We just lie in bed and do nothing, we're innocent. Isn't that enough? Fang Haoyu seemed to be convinced. Indeed, although we sleep in the same room, we are innocent. He was like a little white rabbit who had been tricked by Jiang Jian, the big bad wolf, and was stunned. He must have wanted to sleep with his senior, after all, she was so pretty, but he didn't have a reason. Jiang Jian, on the other hand, had found him a reason. Did your father really set this up? Fang Haoyu asked suspiciously. The older generation generally doesn't mess with things like an esports room, right? Jiang Jian said with conviction, don't worry, when have I ever lied to you? She winked at Fang Haoyu with her big, sincere eyes. But in her heart, she was thinking, I lied to you on purpose, I set up all of this. Fang Haoyu was about to question her again. He had already been fooled once by her last time when she said she would get a marriage certificate. Who knows if she will lie to him this time? But seeing her sincere eyes, he couldn't help but believe her. Besides, could she lie about sex? If they slept together, it was obvious that he would benefit more. He was the prey, not her. Hunters often appear in the form of prey. Fang Haoyu felt that his IQ was now higher than Einstein's. She was the one being manipulated, not him. There's still plenty of time. How about a game? Fang Haoyu said. Just now, the two of them had a bet, if he lost, he would be at the mercy of Ren Shui's orders. It was time to show the true strength of his FPS genius. Chapter 15, Senior's Cooking. No, you turned it on, didn't you, Senior? Fong Haoyu looked incredulous. His best game had actually been beaten by a girl? Fong Haoyu said stubbornly, it must be that I'm not in the right mood today. Jiang made a cute face at him, practice more if you want to cook well. You have to listen to me in this house from now on, since you lost the bet. Fong Haoyu made a face, okay, I give in. Jiang crossed her arms, in the future, you have to tell me when you go out. There is only one key to the house, and I will keep it. You are not allowed to bring anyone else here. If you want to come, you have to tell me too, got it? Fong Haoyu saluted, yes. Senior. Puff. Jiang looked at his funny face and couldn't help but laugh. Little White Rabbit Jr. is so cute. Hee hee, I really want to eat him. What about dinner, big sister? Should we order takeaway? Fong Haoyu suddenly remembered a question at this time. What about cooking? He can only make scrambled eggs and fried rice, and there are more than 10 flavors of instant noodles. Jiang smiled indifferently, I'll do it. Fong Haoyu was a little surprised, big sister, you can cook? Jiang, it's okay, it's edible. It's just a little bit better. She originally liked to cook and often researched a lot of recipes online. This is also considered one of her hobbies. However, she only cooks for herself and has never cooked for anyone else. This is the first time she has cooked for someone else. Her first time is now wasted on this idiot of a junior. Jiang glanced at the time and saw that it was almost time. Wait a moment, I'll go cook. Fong Haoyu asked, do you need any help? You might not be able to handle it alone. Jiang shook her head, no, you've never cooked before, and you'll just mess it up. Fong Haoyu said with a grievance, okay then. Hang in there, senior. I'll go cut some fruit for you. Jiang let out a soft laugh and muttered, why do you get cuter and cuter the more you grow up? I want to rub you. She was in a daze. For a moment, she felt like the two of them were really newlyweds. Dinner is ready. Jiang reminded him. Coming. Fong Haoyu had been starving for a while. He could already smell the delicious food. It smells so good. Fong Haoyu looked at the dishes on the table and his mouth watered. Sweet and sour pork ribs, chicken soup, chicken wings and cola sauce, stir-fried Chinese cabbage. It was all his favorite foods. How did you know I like these? Fong Haoyu was a little surprised. Jiang said arrogantly, don't flatter yourself, I don't know, I just happen to want to cook it. Looking at her arrogant little expression, Fong Haoyu couldn't help but laugh out loud. He was already certain. His senior might really have feelings for him. Although he didn't know why that was the case, he did like her. As for whether the two of them would really get together, it would have to be seen how things developed. After all, the lesson from the last time was too profound. He didn't want to go through it again. Senior, let me help you serve the rice. Fong Haoyu hurriedly went to help him serve the rice. Jiang's face showed a satisfied smile, it's quite helpful, not a waste of time. Soon, 2 bowls of rice were served. Hey, for the first bite, you eat first, senior. Fong Haoyu put a piece of spare ribs in Jiang's bowl. Jiang was slightly stunned, her cheeks slightly flushed. MMM. She watched her eat. Fong Haoyu also started to eat. It's delicious. He couldn't help but praise it. Without exaggeration, this was the best sweet and sour pork he had ever eaten. The sour and sweet flavors mingled together, and the balance was just right, not too sour and not too sweet. It was even better than what some hotel chefs could make. Fong Haoyu said from the bottom of his heart. Jiang felt secretly happy, but she controlled her expression well. The person who cooks most wants to be recognized by others. You really like it? Very much. Then I'll cook for you every day. Jiang smiled shyly. Fong Haoyu's gaze was slightly infatuated. The shy schoolmate was really cute. MMM. The atmosphere gradually became more intimate. The next 2 people didn't speak. Fong Haoyu's mouth never stopped. It's so delicious. What did you eat at school before? It was either braised chicken or chicken casserole. He almost became a chicken. So when he ate the food cooked by his senior, he was really happy. Jiang Jian suddenly asked, "Can you still eat?" Fang Haoyu quickly swallowed the rice in his mouth. "Me? It's okay, why?" Jiang Jian handed him the half-full bowl of rice left in the bowl. "Help me eat it, I can't finish it, I don't want to waste it." Just now, Fang Haoyu made a bowl of rice for him, and although it wasn't full, she still couldn't eat too much. Her appetite was not very big. Fang Haoyu also reacted. He glanced at the bowl of rice in his senior's bowl. He silently noted in his heart how much his senior ate. "I can't make this mistake again in the future. I'll eat it for you." Fang Haoyu's face flushed slightly. He made too much, so it must be his problem. It can't be his senior's problem, right? It's his problem, and he has to solve it himself. But the thought that this was his senior's eaten food. And he couldn't stop blushing. Was this considered an indirect kiss? Fang Haoyu took over his sister's bowl and began to eat in small bites. For some reason, he always felt that his sister's bowl of rice tasted better than his. It was sweeter than his. Fang Haoyu quickly controlled his expression. He was afraid that his sister would define him as a rascal. "Sister, wait a minute, I'll wash the dishes, you go rest for a bit, I just cut some fruit in the living room." "Okay." Fang Haoyu touched his own slightly distended stomach. He was already a little worried that if he continued like this, he might get fat. After all, if his senior kept cooking for him, it would be hard for him not to get fat. If he got fat, his happiness would be over. After washing the dishes, Fang Haoyu originally planned to go in and play games. But he was called over by Jiang Jian. "Watch a drama with me." "Okay." Fang Haoyu didn't hesitate. Unknowingly, he inexplicably began to obey the other person. The sofa was big, so Fang Haoyu didn't sit directly next to his senior. Jiang Jian frowned slightly. "Come here." "Ha? Oh." Fang Haoyu hurriedly moved his butt over. The two sat in the middle of the sofa. Although they were close, they weren't leaning against each other. "It smells good. Does your body come with its own perfume?" After getting close to his senior, he smelled the faint body odor on her. It was a very pleasant smell, and he felt very addicted to it. If he could, he really wanted to hold his senior in his arms and take a deep breath. He wanted to get a fix from her. "Senior, what drama are you watching?" "A Korean drama." "A Korean drama?" Fang Haoyu had never watched this kind of drama before. He had previously watched the commentary on Duban. Isn't it just about falling in love? What's so interesting about it? Chapter 16, Cute Idiot Jr. Why aren't they together? Fang Haoyu was very worried as he watched. The male and female protagonists were very sweet in the early stages, but then there were misunderstandings, and they were unable to be together. Fang Haoyu subconsciously fell onto his senior's shoulders. "Ha?" Jiang Jian glanced at him. "No, I'm not embarrassed." Fang Haoyu reacted and wanted to apologize. Jiang Jian's mouth slightly curled up, and her tone was slightly playful as she said, "It's okay, if you're tired, you can lie on my lap." Fang Haoyu saw his senior's pair of white, slender legs. His face flushed a large area. He didn't dare to think about how good these legs would be to lie on. But he still resisted. "I'm a gentleman." Jiang Jian looked at Fang Haoyu with a smile. It was really a bit addictive to tease this little white rabbit. Fang Haoyu instantly sat up straight, completely afraid to move. Jiang Jian raised an eyebrow. "You're not going to move? Then I'll move." The next second, Fang Haoyu felt a soft, silky touch on his shoulder. And along with the touch came a faint fragrance. "Follow your senior's example." Fang Haoyu suddenly felt at a loss for words, and his heart was beating wildly. "Don't talk, let me lie down for a bit." Her voice trembled slightly as she spoke, her voice soft and gentle. At this moment, a blush appeared on her face. This was the first time she had leaned on a man's shoulder. For the first time, she gave this idiot junior. Fang Haoyu also didn't dare to move around. "Put your hand on my shoulder." Jiang Jian's voice was very gentle. Fang Haoyu put his hand on her shoulder. The two looked like a couple. The girl snuggled up against the boy's shoulder and watched the show. "Senior, this plot is so unbelievable." It was hard to clear the misunderstanding, and they were ready to be together, but then the male lead lost his memory. "It's so unbelievable, it made me so angry." "Do you think someone could really lose their memory?" "Well, it's possible. Why? Because I've experienced it. You've lost your memory before? Jiang laughed lightly. Take a guess. I'm not a child. You are. Fang Haoyu pouted. You're the one. Rebound. Jiang, rebound invalid. She glanced at the time and said indifferently, it's time to take a bath and go to bed. You go ahead and take a bath, your pajamas are in the room. Fang Haoyu nodded. He still washed quickly. There is no doubt about the speed of boys taking a shower. I'm done. So fast? Jiang asked in disbelief. Fang Haoyu laughed. There are even faster ones. When I was in high school, I went to play basketball in the afternoon, and every time I was late in the evening, I could shower and change in 2.5 minutes. Jiang raised an eyebrow. You're quite proud of that? Fang Haoyu, of course. Jiang said indifferently, it's my turn, you go play with the computer for a while. Okay. I'm done. What took you so long? Fang Haoyu had already played 2 games of ranked matches before his senior came out. It's because I washed my hair. Jiang had just stepped out of the bathroom, her hair still damp and exuding a refreshing fragrance. The pink pajamas fit her lightly, outlining her slender figure. Fang Haoyu was momentarily stunned. Not only because the older sister had an indescribable beauty after taking a shower. There was also a reason, he was wearing pink pajamas too. The same pajamas. No, they should be a couple's model. Older sister, he glanced at his pajamas. Jiang raised an eyebrow. What's wrong? Upset that you're wearing the same as me? Disgusted with me? Fang Haoyu hurriedly explained, I didn't mean it like that, to be wearing the same as you can only be considered an honor. Jiang let out a light laugh and muttered, idiot. Fang Haoyu, what did you say, senior? Jiang put away her smile and her expression became cold again. I said come over here and blow dry my hair. But I don't know how to blow dry a girl's hair. If you don't know, learn, this is the Queen's order. Yes, Your Majesty. Fang Haoyu then went to get the hairdryer. While drying Jiang's hair, Fang Haoyu said, Senior, this is the first time I've blown dried a girl's hair. Jiang smiled faintly, and it was also the first time I let a boy help me blow dry my hair. Senior, your hair smells so good. You're allowed to smell it. Cough cough, don't get the wrong idea, I don't have this kind of fetish. Really? I don't. Fang Haoyu felt a little aggrieved. Senior's expression clearly showed that she didn't believe him. Okay, it's dry. Fang Haoyu looked at her expectantly. His face was full of pleading for praise, like a child. Jiang couldn't help smiling inside, and then pretended to be very surprised. Wow, you did a great job blowing it out, really awesome. Hearing such praise, Fang Haoyu's mouth corners almost went up to the sky. That's right. Then can you blow my hair every day from now on? If you can blow my hair every day, my hair will definitely look great. Fang Haoyu's mouth was even more difficult to hold back than a case at this time. No problem, I will guard your hair from now on. Jiang suppressed her laughter. My junior is so funny. No wonder they say that male psychology is child psychology. Complimenting him a little more made his mouth turn up. So cute. If such a cute junior punched you, you would cry for a long time, right? If Fang Haoyu knew what his senior was thinking, he would have covered his face. Master bedroom. Looking at the big pink bed in the bedroom, Fang Haoyu said with some difficulty, Senior, where do I sleep? Jiang, on the bed, of course. Do you want to sleep on the floor? Fang Haoyu, not that it's not possible. Jiang gave him a glare. Straight man. Half for each person, no more, anything more is a puppy, Jiang said indifferently. Actually, this bed is quite big. Even if it's only half, it's bigger than the bed at school. Okay, but there's only one quilt. Should I go buy one tomorrow? No need, the quilt is quite big. Jiang said unhappily. She had carefully decorated the bed herself, and this stupid junior was being so fussy. It was as if he was being aggrieved by sleeping with her. The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. Stop it. Let's go to sleep. Jiang pouted. Come over here, Jiang patted the seat next to her and said in a hurry. Fang Haoyu didn't dare to be negligent. Oh, I'm coming. You can't get handsy at night, Jiang reminded. Fang Haoyu, don't worry, my character is still fine, but you, on the contrary. Jiang Jian glared at him, her eyes slightly carrying a warning. What about me? No, nothing. Turn off the light. Okay. Chapter 17. You're the puppy. Senior, are you asleep? Fang Haoyu couldn't sleep a bit, not knowing if it was nervousness or what. It might be because he was so excited. He was able to sleep in the same bed as his senior. This was something that many people could not envy. Jiang Jian whispered in response, no. Are you having insomnia? A bit. Fang Haoyu curiously asked, why? I'm used to listening to music alone to go to sleep. Jiang Jian said indifferently. Fang Haoyu asked, should I go out? No, just sing for me, Jiang Jian suddenly said. I saw you sing on the confession wall before, and you were not bad. I like Jay Chou's songs very much. Fang Haoyu was slightly taken aback. Do you like Jay Chou's songs too, senior? What do you want to hear? I can basically sing all of Jay Chou's songs. Fang Haoyu is also a fan of Jay Chou. Jiang Jian was silent for a moment, then said, I want to hear Dandelion Promise. Okay, just so you know, if I sing it a cappella, it probably won't sound as good. That's okay. Fang Haoyu closed his eyes and began to recall the lyrics, then he spoke slowly. The dandelions by the elementary school fence. It's a scene with a smell in my memory. The sound of cicadas from the nap playground. It's still very beautiful after all these years. His voice was gentle, and although it was a cappella, it was still very beautiful. The accompaniment sounded in Jiang Jian's mind. Paired with Fang Haoyu's voice, her memories returned to when she was a child. And sleepiness crept up on her. The promise to grow up together. It was so clear, and I believed in the tick. But I can't tell anymore if it's friendship or a love I've missed. With the last lyric, the song ended. Senior? Are you asleep? Fang Haoyu asked very quietly. He didn't get a response. Looks like she's asleep. In that case, I should go to sleep too. Fang Haoyu yawned and pulled the quilt over a little to keep his senior from catching a cold. Haha, I'm such a considerate junior. No wonder my senior has a crush on me. Fang Haoyu always felt like something was strangling his neck, and he couldn't breathe. It directly woke him up. He took away the thing that was grabbing his neck. What the hell? Fang Haoyu rubbed his eyes, looking half asleep. He subconsciously turned his head back, and as soon as he did, he couldn't help but widen his eyes. Is this something I can look at? Jiang Jian's face was no more than 10 centimeters away from his. Fang Haoyu swallowed, and he could feel his senior's breathing at this moment. Her skin was as smooth and delicate as porcelain, exuding a faint luster. The long eyelashes on her tightly closed eyes trembled slightly, as if she would wake up at any moment. This also made Fang Haoyu unable to move even a bit. His heartbeat couldn't help but accelerate, and his face turned red. It smells good. He had a feeling. Spending time with his senior had made him smell good too. He whispered, Senior, this is not my problem. You crossed the line last night. I'm not a puppy. Then he couldn't help but giggle, Hey, I'm not a puppy, you're the puppy, and a good-looking one at that. He gently brushed a strand of hair from her face. Senior, look closely. If only you were really my girlfriend. After waiting a while to make sure she wouldn't wake up for a while, he got up quietly. Fang Haoyu then helped her cover up, tiptoed out of the room, and even held a pair of pink slippers in his hand, afraid of waking her up. Senior, I'll go buy you breakfast. After he left, Jiang Jian's eyes didn't open, but her lips curled up slightly. Who wants to be your girlfriend? You're the puppy. What does Senior like to eat? Fang Haoyu was wandering the streets looking for food. Suddenly, someone sent a message on WeChat. Who is it? Fang Haoyu looked curiously. It was a message from a few people in the dormitory group. Group name, Father and his 3 big sons. Zhou Ziren, boss, bring me a breakfast. Yao Yutong, call dad. Zhou Ziren, dad. Bring a breakfast to my son. Ling Jikai, Zhou Ziren's emoji of jumping into the Pure Land during military training. Zhou Ziren, is your butt itchy? Ling Jikai, please. Zhou Ziren, don't go back to the dormitory, or else you'll have to wait for me after you've cleaned your butt. Fang Haoyu. How come there's a pervert among my own sons? Fang Haoyu, your father is here. Zhou Ziren, you should also clean your butt and wait for me. Yao Yutong, oh yeah, how you, aren't you from here? Do you want to go out for dinner tonight while you're on vacation? Fang Haoyu just realized. They've all been at school for almost a month. They haven't gone out for dinner together once. How can this be? It's just in time for the 3-day holiday. Fang Haoyu, no problem, let's go out for a drink tonight. Zhou Ziren, plus. Mambo. Ling Jikai, drinking? My forte. I can handle you guys. Yao Yutong, it's settled then, Haoyu, you're local, you find the place. Fang Haoyu, no problem. After Fang Haoyu set a time with the others, he continued to look for food. Oh no! I forgot I don't have a key. Fang Haoyu stood downstairs with the breakfast. He wanted to let his senior wake up to breakfast. In that case, his senior would definitely have a good impression of him. But it seems like a miscalculation. I'd better send a message to my senior. Just then, the door suddenly opened. Jiang Jian raised her eyebrows. Stupid junior, didn't bring your key? Senior. I thought you were still sleeping. Fang Haoyu was a little surprised. She looked pretty dead asleep, but he didn't expect her to wake up in half an hour. Jiang Jian's pretty face flushed slightly. I can't sleep without my pillow. Fang Haoyu scratched his head. What pillow? Jiang Jian gave a playful smile. My puppy pillow. Fang Haoyu then realized that the pillow she was referring to was probably himself. But he wasn't the one who crossed the line. Senior, it's not Fang Haoyu. Fang just wanted to explain. Jiang Jian glared at him. Who's the puppy? Fang Haoyu stammered, I'm the puppy. Jiang Jian then returned to her smile. Good boy. Let's go, take my puppy junior home. Fang Haoyu sighed. Forget it, puppy it is. At least I can still be held by my senior while I sleep. In that case, it doesn't seem like there's anything bad about being a dog. The two returned to the bridal chamber. Senior, I bought you these soup dumplings on purpose. They're the best in the neighborhood, and I often order them during my holidays. Fang Haoyu gave a hee-hee laugh. He was looking for praise again. Seeing this, Jiang Jian's heart almost melted. Family members, who understands? Little brother is so cute. I want to rub him. Little brother is so great, how did you know I wanted to eat soup dumplings this morning? Jiang Jian showed a surprised expression. Chapter 18, I can't do it, Your Majesty. That's right. Fang Haoyu's mouth curved up to the back of his ears. Jiang Jian couldn't help but laugh when she saw the idiot of a junior. If it's not delicious, I won't cook for you tonight. Fang Haoyu suddenly remembered that he hadn't reported in yet. That senior, I plan to go have dinner with my roommates tonight. Jiang Jian blinked her big watery eyes and waved her little hand. Okay, I give you permission. Fang Haoyu hurriedly said, thank you, Your Majesty. Jiang Jian said with satisfaction, my dear, please rise. Fang Haoyu was slightly stunned. My dear? Since when have I become your dear? Jiang Jian raised an eyebrow. Is my dear not good? Or do you want to be an eunuch? Do you want to be Xiuhaozi? No, I still want to be a concubine. Fang Haoyu laughed. He didn't want to be a eunuch. Besides, the title of concubine was pretty good. Come here. Jiang Jian said indifferently. What's wrong? Is it not to the emperor's liking? Fang Haoyu asked cautiously. No. Then why? I want the concubine to feed me. Jiang Jian raised an eyebrow and gave a wicked smile. Fang Haoyu's face suddenly turned red. Your Majesty, I cannot do it. Jiang Jian's tone carried a hint of displeasure. If you can't do it, then I'll have to let concubine she feed me. Fang Haoyu looked puzzled. My senior is too playful. Where did this concubine she come from? The drama queen is really hammering it home. This is childish, I'm not playing along with my senior. No. Your Majesty, I was wrong. Fang Haoyu said with great grievance. Jiang Jian sighed, concubine Fang, you mustn't make things difficult for me. You don't want me to find another man, do you? Fang Haoyu frowned. Threatening me? Am I the kind of person who can be threatened? Humph, let me tell you. I am. Fang Haoyu licked a smile. Your servant will feed you now, Your Majesty. That's more like it. Jiang Jian petted his head fondly. Hee hee, cute little junior. Who can refuse a cute junior who plays along with you? Senior, it's a bit hot, let me blow it for you. Tasty, isn't it? Fong Haoyu looked at his senior with anticipation. Jiang Jian chewed it slowly in her mouth. She had to admit, this family's soup dumplings were really delicious. And they were bought for her by her junior puppy. Even better. It's delicious, just like you. Jiang Jian looked at him with a smile in her eyes. I'm delicious? You're not an ogre, are you, senior? Fong Haoyu pretended to be very scared. Jiang Jian laughed softly. No, I'm the big bad wolf, and I just love little white rabbits like you. No, I should say little pink rabbits. Fong Haoyu glanced at the slippers on his feet. The pink little rabbit. Should say no, these slippers look very girly. If it weren't for the fact that his sister's slippers were a smaller size, he would have suspected that she was wearing his slippers. The rabbit is so cute, how can you eat it? I like it braised. Senior, do you think I'm burnt enough? Fong Haoyu asked tentatively. Jiang Jian propped her chin in her hand and took a good look at him. Pretty burnt, I'll eat you tonight. Fong Haoyu blushed, his face unable to help but turn red. He subconsciously touched his face. I'm not going to really burn up. Puff. Jiang Jian couldn't help but laugh at his silly look. Silly. Senior, do you want to play a game together? After breakfast, Jiang Jian had planned to study. Fong Haoyu, however, dragged her to play games. She had always been a self-disciplined person. So she definitely came. Jiang Jian put down her books and went straight into the esports room with Fong Haoyu. This time, the two did not play competitive games. Instead, they played Minecraft. Senior, watch me build a unique house for you. Fong Haoyu said with conviction. Jiang Jian was also playing this game for the first time. She also wanted to see what kind of house this idiot of a junior could build for her. In no time, Fong Haoyu had built the house. The moment Jiang Jian saw the house, she froze. She could describe this house in 3 words. Water cube. Senior? How is it? It's pretty good. I can tell it's a huge coffin. Fong Haoyu. Jiang Jian watched him operate and got the general idea. I'll do it. Because the two of them started off playing in creative mode. The main purpose was to let Jiang Jian get familiar with it first. Jiang Jian had just studied the things in this game. Then she started messing with it. Fong Haoyu, on the other hand, started building a diamond coffin. 2.5 hours later. Done. How is it, little brother? Jiang Jian raised an eyebrow. Fong Haoyu looked at it and was instantly stunned. A white villa with 3 floors and steps, surrounded by a green belt and a fountain. That could be described as full of a sense of luxury. Compared to the diamond coffin he had just made, it was simply crushing. My dear, come in quickly, this is the villa I have built for you. Coming. Fong Haoyu chose a barbecue stall that was quite close to the school. He sent a location in the group chat. Half an hour later. All 4 people were there. As soon as Zhou Ziren sat down, he couldn't help but start sniffing. Haoyu, what's that smell on you? Originally, he wanted to smell the barbecue. Unexpectedly, he smelled a faint fragrance, still emanating from Fong Haoyu. Ling Jikai came over and sniffed. Woman? This is the smell of a woman. Fong Haoyu. I just took a shower when I left. Ling Jikai, no way. Absolutely not. I've always been familiar with the smell of women. The smell on you is very familiar, I always feel like I've smelled it before. Fong Haoyu gave him a dirty look. Dead Cain? Have you ever been in a relationship? You're familiar with it. Ling Jikai, I trust my nose. Zhou Ziren teased, no wonder your nose is so good. It turns out to be a dog nose. Ling Jikai, get out of here. Stupid philosophy. Zhou Ziren, I don't think you understand at all. Yao Yutong smiled, these two have been like this in the dormitory for the past 2 days, fighting every day. Fong Haoyu smiled, it proves that they have a good relationship, and they might become a couple. Get out of here. Zhou Ziren and Ling Jikai shouted in unison. Fong Haoyu, just to be safe, grabbed 2 random boxes of beer. Because he didn't know how much these people could drink either. After the drinks and snacks were served, the guys started playing dice. 6 sixes. Split. Reverse split. 3 cups. Drink. Chapter 19, I only know how to propose to a senior. 1 hour later. Kai. Ran. Zhou Ziren was now hugging Ling Jikai's waist. Fang Haoyu and Yao Yutong frowned as they watched the scene. He didn't expect their dice skills to be so bad. Their drinking capacity is not good either. This is just the beginning. Fang Haoyu was the first to react, and he took out his phone and started filming the two of them. His mouth was now twisted to the back of his head. This video will definitely go viral if it's posted online. The sea is below. Kai, don't jump. Zhou Ziren shouted. No. I want to jump. Ling Jikai responded, his face full of pain. Zhou Ziren said sincerely, you jump, I jump. The two of them were flushed, and it was obvious that they were not just drunk. Yao Yutong frowned, is this the Titanic? The two of them were hugging and cuddling in front of the barbecue stand, acting crazy from the alcohol. It attracted a lot of onlookers. What a shame, I definitely won't bring them out drinking again. Fang Haoyu was speechless. Fortunately, he had recorded a video of the two of them acting crazy, and he would show it to them when they sobered up. Haha, their expressions should be really funny. Yao Yutong really couldn't afford to lose face, so she quickly pulled the two of them back. However, the two of them, who had just sat down, were still acting crazy. Kai. HM. Will you marry me? This is the ring I have for you. Zhou Ziren said, and in his hand was an additional ring from an aluminum can. Yao Yutong? More? Fang Haoyu had expected this and had already turned on the video recorder. I do. Ling Jikai stuck out his middle finger. Zhou Ziren put the ring from the can on Ling Jikai's middle finger. Fang Haoyu smiled and said, congratulations to the newlyweds, the ceremony is complete. Husband. Wife. Fang Haoyu nodded with satisfaction. Jiang had gained another couple. Leader, let's continue, we have to decide the winner. No problem. Boss, you're awesome. Fang Haoyu's head was already starting to feel a little dizzy. Yao Yutong's face was also flushed. You're not bad either. To be honest, he was also almost out of it. It could be said that it was a draw tonight. Why don't we just call it a draw? You and I think alike. The two of them stopped in perfect unison. Fang Haoyu's stomach was particularly bloated. He couldn't drink a drop now. It felt like the wine was already in his throat, and if he drank any more, he would just vomit. You take this couple back. Fang Haoyu pointed at the two of them. At this time, the drunk couple hugged each other and then fell asleep on the table. Yao Yutong nodded, no problem, you go home? Fang Haoyu's movements had become sluggish, well, sort of. Yao Yutong asked worriedly, can you? It's okay. Fang Haoyu patted his chest. Yao Yutong, then I'll go first. He then hailed a taxi and dragged the two of them away. After paying the fare, Fang Haoyu was just about to leave. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from behind him. Fang Haoyu? Fang Haoyu was momentarily stunned, and then turned around to look at the source of the voice. A girl wearing a floral dress and a high ponytail was looking at him with a shocked expression. It really is you. Fang Haoyu narrowed his eyes slightly, trying to see who she was. Sheni? At this moment, the alcohol kicked in. He could only feel double vision in front of him. So it was really you who confessed on the wall. Sheni walked over, her expression very complicated. Fang Haoyu shook his head and didn't say a word. Sheni continued, I know your intentions, but I don't think we're really a good match. There's no need for you to come to Jiangnan University for me. You could actually go to a better university with your grades. Fang Haoyu had long since let go of Sheni. He was feeling very dizzy and just wanted to leave quickly. I didn't, so don't flatter yourself. He was about to leave when Sheni grabbed his hand. Actually, you don't need to pretend. If you really like me, I can give you a chance to chase after me. Fang Haoyu frowned and tried to shake her hand off. Suddenly, a pleasant voice came. Let go of him. Jiang Jian suddenly appeared and pulled Fang Haoyu to her side. Don't you know that it's rude to randomly pull someone on the street? Jiang Jian said coldly. The cold temperament on her body appeared again. Jiang Shuajie? Shani obviously couldn't believe it. The usually aloof Jiang University's most beautiful girl was actually here. And she was even helping a man out of a bind. What was their relationship? Xinyi's eyes became a little complicated. I'm sorry. Xinyi hurriedly apologized. This was indeed her fault. Fan Haoyu had originally wanted to leave just now. But she held him back. Jiang Jian's expression was indifferent. You can go. Xinyi wanted to leave, but she couldn't help but be curious. Do you know him? The aftereffects of the alcohol kicked in. Fan Haoyu was already feeling dizzy at this point, and had entered the same state as Zhou Ziren had been in at the time. Learning from the older sister, you came to pick me up? Shall we go home? Xinyi was stunned. You are his girlfriend? How is this possible? How could the iceberg goddess be his girlfriend? Jiang Jian did not respond to her, but said coldly, you'd better not talk nonsense. Xinyi suddenly felt a chill behind her, and hurriedly nodded, I will definitely not talk nonsense. Jiang Jian took Fan Haoyu's hand and said, let's go, puppy junior. Hey, here I come. After the two left, Xinyi was still frozen in place, unable to calm her emotions for a long time. Was she dreaming? Why did she feel like something had been taken from her? On the way back to the community, Jiang Jian glared at Fan Haoyu and said, is this your ex? Fan Haoyu smiled foolishly on his face and said, what ex? I haven't even been in a relationship yet, heh heh. Jiang Jian felt better after hearing this. What just happened? Fan Haoyu, hey, what do you mean? I just remember someone proposing. Jiang Jian. You didn't propose, did you? Fan Haoyu, how could I? Hey, I would only propose to you. Jiang Jian froze in place. Why aren't we moving? What did you say? Fan Haoyu, hey, I forgot. I'll take you home when I remember. Jiang Jian's mouth curled up slightly. No. I want to go back to the room where my senior and I got married. Fan Haoyu said with a grievance. Jiang Jian couldn't help but smile, I really can't help you. When are you going to propose to your senior? When my senior really likes me. Jiang Jian said with love in her eyes, muttering, fool, is there a possibility that your senior has already liked you? Chapter 20, Good night, stupid junior. Okay, we're home. Jiang Jian rubbed Fan Haoyu's face. Fan Haoyu still had a wise smile on his face. Hey, is this where my senior and I live? Stupid junior. You had to drink so much. Jiang Jian looked at him lovingly. Fan Haoyu had just returned home and immediately laid down on the sofa in the living room. A drunk junior is such a fool. He's kind of cute. How about a photo? Jiang Jian took out her phone and squatted down, resting her head next to his. Ka-cha. Jiang Jian looked at the photo on her phone and was very satisfied. In the photo, Fan Haoyu was lying on the sofa with his eyes closed, a silly smile on his face. Next to him was a face with a grimace made by Jiang Jian. This photo would make a good wallpaper. Jiang Jian rubbed Fan Haoyu's face and said unhappily, drunk like this, if it weren't for me, you would have been defiled by another woman. It's late at night, and boys who are away from home have to know how to protect themselves. What if someone picked you up? Got it? Stupid. I'm your rescuer. You have to say thank you to me when you wake up tomorrow. Fan Haoyu had already fallen asleep. He was now in a deep sleep. Jiang Jian was left talking to herself. Jiang Jian, looks like you won't be able to take a shower, so you'll have to sleep on the sofa tonight. Then she took out a blanket and helped Fan Haoyu cover himself up. Of course, she got one for herself too. There are 2 sofas in the living room, just one for each person. Don't you think I can't sleep alone? I'm afraid you can't sleep without me. Jiang Jian said arrogantly. Good night, stupid junior. The next day, Fan Haoyu woke up from the sofa. He felt a bit of a headache and his eyes were a bit difficult to open. Sigh. He carefully recalled what had happened last night. He only remembered that after he had paid the bill, the aftereffects of the alcohol kicked in. He felt dizzy after a little night breeze, and then he heard a familiar voice. Who was it? Who called him at the time? It seemed to be Shen-Yi. His memory stopped at the time when Shen-Yi called out to him. What happened afterwards? Fan Haoyu racked his brain but couldn't remember. What is this? Fang Haoyu looked around at the familiar surroundings. Ha? How did I get home by myself? Fang Haoyu looked puzzled. Suddenly he lifted the blanket covering him to check his clothes. He wanted to see if he had been molested by another woman last night. Luckily, his clothes were still intact. I was so scared. Are you up? Jiang Jian walked out of the kitchen. I've made you some kanji. Go wash up and then drink it while it's still hot. Fang Haoyu nodded. He smelled of alcohol and didn't feel like approaching his senior without a shower. In no time, Fang Haoyu finished washing up. He went to the dining table. His senior had already served him a bowl of kanji in advance. The kanji was no longer hot at this point. It was just the right temperature. Jiang Jian also filled herself a small bowl and ate it in small bites. Fang Haoyu felt a hint of awkwardness in the atmosphere. That schoolmate, how did I get home last night? Jiang Jian said indifferently, I walked you home. Fang Haoyu asked tentatively, so did you see? Jiang Jian didn't wait for him to finish speaking, her expression was very calm, I saw your ex. Fang Haoyu hurriedly explained, schoolmate, she's not my ex, I no longer have anything to do with her, she's already rejected me, don't get the wrong idea. Jiang Jian's mouth curled up into a triumphant smile. Why do you have to explain to me? Is it important? Fang Haoyu lowered his head embarrassedly, not knowing how to explain. Ha? Seeing her little brother's silly appearance, Jiang Jian felt very amused. Every time she could easily manipulate her little brother. It was really fun. What if this simple little brother got cheated? Why not let me do the cheating? Fang Haoyu was silent for a while, but still spoke honestly, it's very important. What? Jiang Jian was taken aback. Fang Haoyu said, I said it's important for you to know about this. He had already given up caring. Sincerity is the ultimate weapon. Jiang Jian let out a soft laugh and said gently, you really are honest. Fang Haoyu suddenly said, Senior, actually, I don't think you're cold at all. Jiang Jian was intrigued and asked with raised eyebrows, why? I don't know, at least I don't feel your coldness when I'm with you. I think you're quite lively sometimes. Jiang Jian couldn't help but smile in her heart. Stupid Junior. Is there a possibility that I'm only like this with you? It didn't feel like he was pretending, just really stupid. Can you tell me about that girl? Your story with her. Jiang Jian asked. Fang Haoyu didn't hide anything. I met her in the first year of high school. She was the class flower of our class. At that time, she and I were in the same class, and she often asked me for help, so I felt a little like her. Isn't that what adolescent boys are like? When you meet a girl who meets your aesthetic standards, you like her after contact. Our relationship was very good for 3 years of high school, and everyone in the class thought we would definitely get together after graduation. Jiang Jian pursued, what happened next? Fang Haoyu was silent for a while, and then slowly said, she rejected me. She told me that as long as I got into the same university as her, she would be with me. Jiang Jian, so that's why you repeated the year? I didn't realize that stupid Junior was still in love. Fang Haoyu nodded. I also successfully got into Jiangnan University, but she didn't choose to be with me. But it doesn't matter, I've let go. It was just an oral promise, and if anyone's to blame, it's me for taking it seriously. Jiang Jian looked at him with concern, if someone can't even keep a promise, how is she worthy of being with you? Fang Haoyu smiled, Senior, do you have a long-standing promise that you've made? Jiang Jian said indifferently, yes. Fang Haoyu, did you keep it? Jiang Jian propped up her face with her hand and looked at him with meaningful eyes, it should be considered kept, at least at the legal level. Fang Haoyu was a little confused, what does a promise have to do with the law? Jiang Jian, guess? Fang Haoyu smiled foolishly, although I can't guess, I know that you are a person who keeps his promises, and that is enough. Jiang Jian smiled indifferently, in fact, you are also a person who keeps his promises. Fang Haoyu scratched his head, a little embarrassed, that's right, after all, I have been admitted to Jiangnan University as agreed, it's just that she hasn't fulfilled it. That's Senior, I'll help you wash the dishes. Fang Haoyu quickly gathered up the dishes and took them to the kitchen to wash them. Jiang Jian's eyes became deep, in fact, we are fulfilling the same promise. Chapter 21 Immediately. Perhaps Fang Haoyu's conscience was bothering him, because he finally started typing. He hadn't typed in the past 2 days. If he didn't update again, his fans would send him blades. Fang Haoyu racked his brain just to write enough for 4,000 words. But recently, he really hadn't had much inspiration. It probably took him 2.5 hours to barely finish 2 chapters. Fang Haoyu muttered, I feel like going out for a walk to find some inspiration. But hanging out alone didn't seem like much fun. Why not ask the older girl if she wanted to go? How could he just stay at home during the holidays? He definitely wasn't asking her out just to be alone with her. Yes, he was afraid that she would be lonely at home alone. Immediately, he walked into the living room and looked at the older girl, who was studying, and tentatively asked, Hey, do you have time tonight? Jiang stopped writing and looked up. What's wrong? Fang Haoyu scratched his head, a little embarrassed, and asked, Do you have time tonight, Miss Jiang? Jiang was momentarily taken aback and gave him a questioning look. Fang Haoyu explained, I want to go to the park tonight to find some inspiration. Do you want to take a walk with me? Jiang tilted her head and looked at him. Are you asking me out on a date? You want to go out with me? A date? With me? Fang Haoyu couldn't help blushing. No, not. Stupid. Jiang snorted. Fang Haoyu scratched his head awkwardly. Senior, if you don't have time. Jiang propped her chin in her hands and gave a shallow smile. Who says I don't have time? I have time right now. Fang Haoyu didn't react, huh? Didn't you hear me? I said I have time right now. Well, thank you, senior. Thank me? You're still polite. Jiang gave a smile. Fang Haoyu, on the other hand, blushed and ran back to the esports room to continue typing. Idiot Junior doesn't know what he meant by what he said? Calling him stupid, and he really is. Maybe I should call him Smart Junior from now on. Maybe he'll become a little smarter. Jiang muttered, I hope my child won't be as stupid as him. After dinner. Senior, let's go for a walk. Fang Haoyu grinned. Jiang had changed into a light purple dress. Her eyes were smiling, giving her a very pure and innocent look. What do you think? Does it look good? Jiang carefully twirled around. Fang Haoyu swallowed, it looks great. Senior's outfit today is absolutely amazing. This set gives him a feeling of pure first love. Jiang was very satisfied with his expression. Let's go. Okay. There is a park near the bottom of the community. When they arrived at the park, many children were playing and chasing each other, while some elderly people were dancing together in the square, and some young couples were sitting on a bench enjoying a stroll in the park. Why didn't you go home for the Mid-Autumn Festival, senior? Fang Haoyu asked curiously. Fang Haoyu didn't go home because his father wouldn't let him go back. Then why didn't you go back, senior? Jiang said indifferently, I would be alone if I went back. My father is usually very busy and rarely goes home. My mother passed away when I was very young because of an illness. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Fang Haoyu realized that he had said something wrong. Jiang shook her head, it's okay, in fact, I envy you quite a bit. Your mother often sends me messages, and I can feel that she treats me like a daughter. Fang Haoyu didn't know that Liang Yun would privately send messages to Jiang. Is that so? Your father is also quite nice. Fang Haoyu. Nice? I doubt I'm even related to you. No one would forbid their son from going home during the holidays. Jiang forced a smile. My father is the only family member I have left, so he treats me very well and basically gives me whatever I want. Fang Haoyu felt a little heartache for some reason. Senior. In fact, I could be your family too. Fang Haoyu blurted out subconsciously. Jiang was slightly taken aback, her cheeks flushed slightly. What do you mean? Fang Haoyu blushed and explained, we're married, aren't we? At least legally, I can be considered your family now. Jiang burst out laughing, idiot. I'm not an idiot. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. The two of them were arguing like children. Look, someone is singing, senior. At this time, there was a long-haired man singing on the edge of the park square. Let's go and have a look. Okay. It's hard to say whether to say it or not, but this street singer is quite well equipped. Quite a few people came and sat on the steps to listen to the song. This street singer basically sings love songs. Basically, it's the couples at the scene who order it. Fang Haoyu took Jiang Jian to sit on the steps and quietly listened to the song the man was singing. They listened for about 10 minutes. He smiled and asked, "Does anyone want to come up and sing?" Singing to someone you like is a very happy thing. Many of the couples there were tempted to do so. But they were afraid that they wouldn't sing well, and so they hesitated. Fang Haoyu glanced at his senior. He thought about the bits and pieces of time he had spent with her. And suddenly, a song came to mind. He really wanted to sing it. "Hey, little brother, do you want to come up here? I can see that you really want to sing for your girlfriend." Perhaps his expression was too obvious, and the singing waiter caught his thoughts at a glance. Fang Haoyu subconsciously glanced at his schoolmate. Jiang Jian smiled indifferently. "I want to hear you sing too. His schoolmate has said so." Fang Haoyu did not hesitate any longer. Immediately, he stood up and walked over to the singing waiter and took the microphone. He whispered to the singing waiter what he was going to sing. The singing waiter gave an OK sign. "The name of the song is 'Can You Hear Me?' I want to sing it to my senior." Fang Haoyu looked at his senior with deep meaning in his eyes. Jiang Jian was slightly startled and muttered, "Is it really this song?" As the accompaniment slowly began to play, Fang Haoyu slowly began to sing. "Who can know better than I? Your tenderness is like a feather. It lies secretly in my embrace. Only you can hear it. I want to hide your goodness. Only I can see it." Fang Haoyu's gentle singing was full of emotion and almost infected all the couples at the scene. Some couples were singing along. Some couldn't help but start kissing. "I insist on learning to be a simple child. I don't want to leave." When the song ended, the young man selling songs on the side was stunned. "This guy really can sing. Thank you." Fang Haoyu handed the microphone to the young man selling songs, and then couldn't wait to go find his senior. "Senior, how is it? Can you hear me?" Fang Haoyu asked softly. "Yes, I can hear you." Chapter 22, We're Husband and Wife. "Oh, we've already gotten our marriage certificate." The two of them smiled in perfect unison. "Let's go, senior." Fang Haoyu held out his hand. Jiang Jian tilted her head and smiled. "Are you trying to hold my hand?" Fang Haoyu's face flushed slightly as he explained, "I'm afraid you'll fall." Jiang Jian gave a small smile and didn't expose him. "Fine, since you're doing this for my own good, there's nothing I can do about it." She took Fang Haoyu's hand in a natural manner. "Let's go." Jiang Jian did not let go of his hand after standing up. The two of them tacitly did not let go. Fang Haoyu was now holding his schoolmate's little hand. It was so soft and smooth. "Is this really schoolmate's hand? Haha, it feels so good, I don't want to let go." Fang Haoyu's heart was pounding like a deer in heat, but he still pretended to be calm. His schoolmate didn't say anything. What is he nervous about? We've already got our marriage certificate, so it's not too much to hold hands, right? He glanced at his schoolmate secretly. He could see that there wasn't much change in her expression. Why no reaction? Does she only see me as a younger brother? A flash of disappointment crossed Fang Haoyu's mind. What he didn't know was that Jiang Jian was calm on the surface. Her heart had already exploded. "Ah! He's holding my hand. His hand is so big and so safe. Calm down. The younger guy is not even remotely as excited as you are. You have to take the initiative." Jiang Jian forced herself to control her expression, but her palms were sweating with nervousness. "Younger guy, are you sister's hands soft?" "Ha? I'm sorry, sister." Fang Haoyu thought that sister wanted him to let go of her hand and hurriedly tried to do so. As soon as he tried to let go, sister's little hand grabbed his tightly. Jiang Jian's brows furrowed slightly. "You don't like my hands?" Fang Haoyu hurriedly shook his head. "I like it very much." "What do you like?" "I like your hands." "Pervert." Jiang Jian burst out laughing. "Idiot." Fang Haoyu looked very helpless with a sad face. He had already noticed it. It seemed that his senior really liked to tease him. But he didn't feel disgusted, but rather enjoyed it a little. Could it be that he was a masochist? Fortunately, Jiang Jian could not read minds. If she knew what Fang Haoyu was thinking in his head, she would not be able to stop laughing. The two walked to the center of the park square. There were a lot of children here. Basically, they all had a toy in their hands. Watching these children playing and fighting, he and his schoolmate could not help but stop and quietly watch the scene. Suddenly, a young voice came from somewhere. Why are you guys always looking at us? The two looked in the direction of the voice. A little boy was holding the hand of a little girl, his face full of curiosity. Fan Haoyu was slightly stunned. Why are you guys looking at us? It seems that he also said this when he was a child. Why do adults always like to look at us kids? Watching them playing and fighting, he felt an indescribable feeling. It brought back some memories of his childhood. This is perhaps why adults like to watch children fight with each other. Everyone has a part of themselves that lives in their hearts as an adult. Fan Haoyu smiled indifferently, because seeing you is like seeing my former self. Jiang asked curiously, do you still remember things from when you were a child? Fan Haoyu pondered for a moment. I don't really have many memories of when I was a child, I've forgotten about it all long ago, but I still remember things from when I was about 10 years old. Jiang's face flashed with a hint of loss. Is that so? Big brother, is this your girlfriend? Look carefully. The little boy praised from the bottom of his heart. The two were both taken aback. Fan Haoyu was about to explain. Jiang gave a small smile. No, we're not a couple. Fan Haoyu felt a little let down for some reason. We are husband and wife, we have already got our marriage certificate. Fan Haoyu? His original letdown suddenly inexplicably turned into a dark joy. Husband and wife? But she was right. The two of them did get their marriage certificate. He glanced at his senior. Jiang's face was wearing a faint smile. The little boy was very surprised. Fairy sister, you are actually married. Aren't you university students? Jiang said gently, because we have reached the legal age of marriage, we can get married. The little boy's eyes lit up. So college students can get married too? You can when you grow up. Jiang's attitude towards the little boy was very gentle. Fan Haoyu's gaze became slightly dazed. At this moment, Jiang looked like a fairy. Just like the little boy had said. Fairy sister. What a gentle schoolmate. The little boy nodded, and then quickly turned his head to look at the little girl next to him. When I grow up, I'll marry you. That way I can always protect you and make sure those people can't bully you anymore. The little girl was momentarily stunned, and nodded shyly. Jiang said seriously, little brother, promises are very important, you have to think carefully. The little boy's eyes were very determined. Don't worry. Jiang couldn't help but stroke the little boy's head. Come on, then you have to protect her. Before the little boy left, he didn't forget to praise the two of them. Brother and sister, I wish you a son soon. Never die? Fan Haoyu couldn't help but laugh. What kind of adjective is that? Senior, that little boy is quite cute. Well, he looks a lot like you when you were little. Like me when I was little? Have you seen a photo of me when I was little? I just simply think you two are a bit alike. Hey, how could that be? When I was little, I was already a handsome guy. Shameless. After a while, Fan Haoyu saw a stall selling drinks. Senior, are you thirsty? A little. Then I'll go buy you something to drink, wait here for me. All the parks here sell their own homemade thirst-quenching drinks. What about grass jelly, mung bean soup, and so on? Boss, 2 grass jelly please. Fan Haoyu said with a smile. Okay. Wait a minute. In no time, 2 grass jelly were packed. Boss, how much is 1 grass jelly? Can I have one for 3 yuan? A young voice came. No, it's 5 yuan for one. The boss said with difficulty. The little boy's face was full of disappointment. Fan Haoyu noticed that this boy was the one that his senior had said looked like him. Here you go, little brother. Fan Haoyu generously handed him the portion of Xingfen in his hands. The little boy was slightly stunned and hesitated. No, this is what the older brother paid for. Fan Haoyu smiled and said, it's okay, but you have to keep your promise and protect the person you want to protect. He had a good impression of this little boy. The senior said that this boy is very much like him. When he was young, he also didn't have much money, and he really wanted to eat shaved ice, but no one would buy it for him. He is buying this for his former self. The little boy showed an expression of gratitude. Thank you, brother. I will definitely protect her. Jiang watched this scene from a distance. Unexpectedly, the stupid junior is quite kind. Jiang Jian's mouth unconsciously rose upwards. I didn't think you were like this. I like you even more. Chapter 23, Dual Personality. Senior, I'm back. Fang Haoyu ran back happily, still holding a copy of the cold jelly he had just bought. Jiang Jian raised an eyebrow. Why did you only buy one? Aren't you going to drink it? Fang Haoyu laughed. I drank it, but I bought it for my younger self. And I'm not thirsty. Silly. Jiang Jian smiled lovingly. Senior, here you go. Fang Haoyu giggled. The two of them found a seat. Try it, this cold jelly is delicious. Have you tried it before? No, but from my experience, it's definitely delicious. If it's not, you'll hit me. I won't hit you. Jiang Jian pouted. Why? Fang Haoyu asked curiously. Jiang Jian gave a wise look, because if I hit you, you can sue me for domestic violence. Fang Haoyu didn't expect his senior to have thought of this. You're paranoid, aren't you? Get out of here. You're the one who's paranoid. I was joking, idiot. Jiang Jian gave him a dirty look. Fang Haoyu made a gesture of swearing. It's okay, I won't sue you for domestic violence, I swear. Jiang Jian looked at him strangely. So you like being hit by your senior? Ha? Fang Haoyu didn't know how to answer. Jiang Jian gave him a meaningful look. So you have this kind of fetish, you're not? No. I really don't. Fang Haoyu hurriedly explained. Jiang Jian propped her chin up with one hand, tilted her head, and gave a wicked smile. I haven't even said what it is, and you're reacting so strongly. Is it really? Fang Haoyu coughed twice with a guilty heart. Ahem, I'm nothing. He gave an expression of pleading for mercy. Oops, senior, don't tease me anymore. You know I'm stupid. I've already been honest. Please let me go. Jiang Jian gave a small smile. Okay, I'll let you off this once. Thank you, Your Majesty. Rise. Jiang Jian used a spoon to gently scoop a spoonful of the cold jelly in the bowl and brought it to her mouth. It was sweet and cold, and the taste was very good. Fang Haoyu looked at her expression with great anticipation. What do you think, senior? Does it taste good? Jiang Jian nodded. It's okay. Then why did you hit me? I'll reluctantly stop. Jiang Jian couldn't quite finish the dessert after eating about half of it. Although it was delicious, she was a little full. There was still half left, and she didn't really want to waste it. Right, isn't there a human trash can next to you? Stupid junior. What? Smart senior. Fang Haoyu looked at her quietly. The senior really looked better and better the more he looked at her. Before, he kept secretly looking at her face, but now he had become more bold. I can't eat anymore, you help me finish it. Jiang Jian handed over the remaining cold noodles. Me? Fang Haoyu was slightly taken aback. The cold noodles that you ate, the spoon you used. I won't eat it if I don't eat it, I'll throw it away. Jiang Jian pretended to get up. Eat. Fang Haoyu hurriedly said. You know, I hate wasting food, let me finish it. Fang Haoyu said with righteous words. He definitely didn't want to eat what she left behind. No. Definitely not. He took the jelly from her hand. Fang Haoyu enjoyed the jelly and finished half a bowl. Hey, your jelly is delicious. Jiang Jian looked at him disdainfully. You really are a pervert, little brother. Pervert little brother. Fang Haoyu looked confused. Sister, I'm innocent. I really am not a pervert, sister. I believe you. Jiang Jian looked unconvinced. Fang Haoyu's face showed an expression even more unpleasant than crying. I finally know what it means to have your heart in your mouth. Pervert schoolboy, there are lots of childhood toys over there, Jiang Jian said suddenly. Can you stop calling me pervert schoolboy? I actually think stupid schoolboy is pretty good. Fang Haoyu grimaced. The two of them arrived at the stall. The owner was a 60-something-year-old grandfather. The simple stall was full of toys. Fang Haoyu immediately recognized the flying saucer he used to play with. It's so classic. Do you want to buy it? Jiang Jian could tell what Fang Haoyu was thinking at a glance. Fang Haoyu scratched his head. You don't think I'm childish, do you, senior? No. Then I'll buy it. Fan Haoyu also wanted to get back the feeling of the past. In no time, Fan Haoyu was holding a flying saucer, which he pushed so hard that it flew up. He ran happily over to show off to his senior. What do you think, senior? How high did it fly? Childish. Fan Haoyu looked puzzled. Senior, do you have a dual personality? Jiang said indifferently, yes, this is my second personality. A little boy with a crew cut next to her had his flying saucer fly almost 10 meters and said defiantly to Fan Haoyu, Big brother, you're so bad, you're not even as good as a kid. Fan Haoyu? He was being mocked by a kid? You didn't even fly as high as the kid. Jiang couldn't help but laugh. Fan Haoyu's desire to win as a man was aroused. Kid brother. Let me show you what real flying saucers are. And so, he directly started the second round of the competition with kid brother. Jiang couldn't help but laugh. How childish. Idiot. In the end, Fan Haoyu barely won the competition. Luckily, he had an advantage in strength and height over kid brother. Otherwise, he really would have lost. Kid brother looked unconvinced. When I grow taller, I'll definitely be able to beat you. Fan Haoyu was full of arrogance. Practice more if you're not good enough. After kid brother left, Fan Haoyu looked for praise. What do you think? Senior, I'm awesome, right? Childish. Fan Haoyu's tone carried a hint of coquetry. Senior. You said you wouldn't think I was childish. That was the first personality speaking. What does it have to do with my second personality? Fan Haoyu finally admitted it. He really couldn't play with his senior. His senior could always get the better of him. Childish, it's time to go back. Okay. The two of them had been walking around for quite a while. He also felt a little tired. Today was the third and last day of the holiday. Fan Haoyu had to go back to school. What was it about that he didn't want to leave? Fan Haoyu had had a really good time these past few days. And he had already made up his mind. He really did like his schoolmate. Senior, can I come here every weekend from now on? Fan Haoyu asked tentatively. Jiang propped up her chin and raised an eyebrow. Idiot, didn't I say it was our wedding room? You can just send me a message if you want to come. Fan Haoyu blushed a little shyly and nodded with a pretense of composure. For some reason, when his schoolmate said this was their wedding room, he felt an inexplicable happiness in his heart. Schoolmate, I'll go then. Jiang looked at him tenderly and muttered, Idiot Junior, we can see each other at school. Chapter 24, Fragrant and Soft Boys. The night before the start of the semester. Sons. Your father is back. Fan Haoyu was full of excitement. Yo, my eldest son is finally back. Zhou Ziren smiled with relief, his smile kind like that of a father. Ling Jikai, these past few days, while you were gone, Zhou Ziren's hormones had nowhere to go, and they disgusted me, even to the point of disgusting the other dormitories. Zhou Ziren angrily said, Get out. Stop spreading rumors, you stupid sugarcane. Fan Haoyu walked over and patted the two on the shoulders. You two need to stop fighting all the time, it makes me feel so sad. Yao Yutong asked doubtfully, what's so sad about them fighting? Leader, let me ask you, if you were a father, would you want to see your two sons fighting? Fan Haoyu gave a heartbroken expression. I hope my two eldest sons can get along. Zhou Ziren nodded with a smile. Good, good, it seems that you have an itch in your butt. Damn cane. Here it comes. The two of them worked together in perfect harmony. They directly grabbed Fan Haoyu. No, I'm wrong, it's my problem, don't do it, Jiego. Fortunately, Fan Haoyu begged for mercy quickly, otherwise he would be unclean. You two usually argue quite actively, I didn't expect that you have a good rapport. Yao Yutong teased. Fan Haoyu couldn't help but be a jerk again. A couple must have a tacit understanding. Zhou Ziren said in a bad mood, what couple? I'm not gay. Even if I were, I wouldn't go for this dead stick. Ling Jikai cut in, I like girls, not guys. Do you think I'm a pervert like Zhou Ziren? Only Yao Yutong knew what Fan Haoyu was talking about. She remembered the night they had drinks a couple of days ago. Fan Haoyu had even recorded a video specially. Fan Haoyu had a wicked smile on his face. I'll show you a video. Ling Jikai raised an eyebrow, his face full of curiosity. What video? It must be good looking, you can't just show it to anyone. Zhou Ziren thought it was that kind of video, his face showing excitement. I like watching this kind, send me a copy if the female lead is good looking. Fang Haoyu revealed a sinister smile. The female lead is good looking, she's just a bit skinny. The moment he clicked on the video. Kai. Ran. Zhou Ziren is dumbfounded. Ling Jikai is also dumbfounded. The two of them look at each other. Don't look, neither of them react at this moment. In fact, the person has already left for a while. Until the end of the video. Will you marry me? I will. Husband. Wife. The two of them finally let go of their hearts. Yao Yutan's face is already red from holding back her laughter. This is public execution. Puff. Ha. Yao Yutan still couldn't hold back. Fang Haoyu was different, he had received professional training. No matter how funny it was, he would not laugh. Unless he couldn't hold back. Ha. Fang Haoyu laughed loudly, covering his stomach. He had actually secretly watched this video several times. He had secretly laughed in private. He had originally thought that he was immune. But the public execution in front of the person concerned was much funnier than when he watched it secretly. Plus, the expressions of these two clowns are really funny. Zhou Ziren and Ling Jikai both frowned. After a while, the two of them laughed in tacit agreement. Why are you laughing too? You think it's funny too, right? Ha. Fang Haoyu poured oil on the fire. Zhou Ziren, one for each of you, I'll catch the culprit. Ling Jikai, I'll catch the leader. Zhou Ziren gave a lewd smile. I can see that you two don't understand at all. No. It has nothing to do with me. Yao Yutong shouted in a hurry. No, I was wrong. I won't record you anymore. Fang Haoyu admitted his fault at the speed of light. Too late. On the sugar cane. Wait a minute. Ling Jikai suddenly shouted. What's wrong? Zhou Ziren asked in puzzlement. You smell like a woman. Ling Jikai stared at Fang Haoyu suspiciously. Are you seeing a girlfriend behind our backs? Zhou Ziren? Yao Yutong? Ling Jikai sighed. I originally thought that you would accompany the three of us all the way, but I didn't expect to have made a mistake. Fang Haoyu was a little surprised. I didn't expect Ling Jikai's nose to be more sensitive than a dog's. He had been living with a pretty senior student these past few days, and he did have the smell of the senior student on him. I haven't found a girlfriend. Fang Haoyu explained. Ling Jikai, I don't believe you. I could smell it before the last drink. You must have secretly found a girlfriend and betrayed the group. The villagers won't let you go. Zhou Ziren, that's right, 3357 is not welcome here anymore, Ghana. Fang Haoyu said helplessly, what's all this about? I really haven't found a girlfriend. Although he really wanted his schoolmate to be his girlfriend. He wasn't sure if he could confess successfully. As for when the two of them could really be together, he didn't know either. He would just take things one step at a time. Then where does that smell come from? My own body odor. Zhou Ziren directly exposed him. 6. You also have body odor, how could I not know what you smell like? Yao Yutong said indifferently, is there a possibility that he hasn't yet pursued that girl? Can't you guys use your brains? Ling Jikai patted his head. Right, Haoyu, who is the person you like? Do I know her? Fang Haoyu thought for a moment, I should know her, but she probably doesn't know you guys. Ling Jikai asked again, how far have you guys gotten? Fang Haoyu scratched his head, you got a marriage certificate, right? Ling Jikai looked incredulous, do you believe it? Zhou Ziren looked full of disbelief, I believe it. Yao Yutong also looked full of disbelief, I believe it too. Fang Haoyu didn't expect them to believe it either. After all, he had just said that he got married right after entering university. Who would believe it? But it was also a precautionary measure. In case he could really be with his senior. Then he could say that he had warned them. Ling Jikai said to Fang Haoyu with a serious tone, boys should be fragrant and soft. Be careful not to be deceived by women who smell of cigarettes. Fang Haoyu looked puzzled. His senior is fragrant and soft, isn't she? Fang Haoyu's face broke into a flower-crazy smile at the thought of his schoolmate. No way, she's the one who's fragrant and soft. Ling Jikai said with righteous indignation, the main thing is, what are we going to do if you really get married and leave us single? We're all buddies, are you willing to let the three of us remain single? Unless. Unless what? Ling Jikai grinned, give each of us two girls to push around. Get out. Fong Haoyu snapped. Girls' dormitory. Jiang, why are you smiling so happily at the screen of your phone? Yang Xiaoling asked suspiciously. Chapter 25, Senior Sister is really different. Over this period of time, she really can't understand Jiang Jian anymore. This semester, she has smiled more times than she has in the past 2 years. Could it be that she is really in love? Yang Xiaoling's gaze at Jiang Jian became more and more suspicious. Jiang Jian said indifferently, I just remembered something funny. Yang Xiaoling, Jiang, you've been acting really strange lately. What's wrong? Jiang Jian was momentarily taken aback. You're smiling at your phone. Do you have someone you like? Yang Xiaoling had a vague feeling that something was wrong. If Jiang Jian said she wasn't in a relationship, then she must have someone she likes. I'm not telling you. Jiang Jian said indifferently. Ah. Jiang Jian, you've changed. You weren't like this before, oh. Your heart is so cold. Yang Xiaoling's expression was very sad. If there wasn't a single tear in the corner of her eye, Jiang Jian would have believed her. Jiang Jian. Yang Xiaoling was about to cry but had no tears. You're a junior in college, and now you're suddenly in love. You're so good looking, you'll definitely be fine, but what about me? Who? Would like an old schoolmate like me? I'm so old, I definitely won't fall in love. Jiang Jian comforted her. Yang Xiaoling's face just brightened up a bit. I'll just get married. Yang Xiaoling's expression immediately changed back. Jiang, you dare to fool me? Jiang Jian laughed, you change your face pretty quickly. Yang Xiaoling was very aggrieved and began to rage helplessly, I don't care. If you get a boyfriend, I'll have no one to eat with in the future, and you have to introduce me to a man too. Handsome guy. Monday class. 8 a.m. The 4 people in room 3357 entered the classroom on the dot. This class is calculus. These 4 people have one thing in common. They didn't have breakfast. Until they went to college and realized that eating breakfast is a very niche thing to do. Either they didn't have time to eat at 8 a.m., or they didn't have class in the morning and slept until noon. Of course, the students who came to class last would get special treatment. That is, they got to sit in the front row. Those who came late no longer had a chance to sit in the back. The people in room 3357 could only helplessly sit in the front row. Ling Jikai was the first to blame. Leader, as a member of the class committee, you should have got up earlier and set a good example. Yao Yutong said in a bad mood, I got up early, I kept shouting at you, but you didn't even look at it, you slept like a pig. Zhou Ziran looked like he hadn't woken up. Was the alarm clock a sugar cane this morning? Your alarm clock didn't wake you up, but woke up the 3 of us, you're really something. Ling Jikai shrugged, I set the alarm clock to wake you up, and then you woke me up, so essentially it was still to wake me up. Fang Haoyu suddenly realized, so that's how you were born. In the future, when we're woken up by his alarm clock, we'll sneak away and let him sleep on his own. Ling Jikai hurried over with a smile, don't, guys, you know I really can't hear well, and I can't hear the alarm clock every time. Fang Haoyu frowned, what did you call us? Dad. Ling Jikai said cheekily. Zhou Ziran, and me? Dad. Yao Yutong, ahem. Dad. Fang Haoyu nodded with satisfaction, don't worry, my dear son, your dads will wake you up. Maths class is boring. Even if they sit in the front, they still can't pay attention. It's obvious that most people have a strong resistance to maths. Fang Haoyu was no exception. So he didn't pay attention in class. Instead, he pulled out his phone and started scrolling through videos. But he found it boring. His mind was only thinking about one person. That was his senior. Should I send her a message? I've known her for so long, and we've never had a proper chat on WeChat. Fang Haoyu's note to Jiang Jian was smart senior. The last time I messaged my senior was the last time. But what should I send? Who are you messaging? Ling Jikai sensed something was wrong. You're messaging your secret crush, right? Fang Haoyu said stubbornly, no. Not yet. Your acting is still too, and I've been in the field of love for hundreds of battles, I can tell what you're thinking at a glance. Ling Jikai's mouth slightly raised. Fang Haoyu asked seriously, really? Ling Jikai patted his chest and promised, guaranteed. So how many have you talked to? I haven't talked to anyone yet. Fong Haoyu. Ling Jikai, haven't you heard that a military strategist never goes to war? I just need to plan things out. Fong Haoyu is speechless, I'd rather do it myself. After sending Ling Jikai away, he thought about it for a long time, and finally sent a message, Senior, did you wake up? Girls' dormitory. Jiang Jian looks at the message from Fong Haoyu. Idiot Junior, Senior, are you awake? She couldn't help but let a slight smile curve her lips. Idiot Junior actually took the initiative? He's finally come to his senses? Smart Senior, no, I'm not awake. Idiot Junior, then who's messaging me right now? Smart Senior, second personality. Idiot Junior. Smart Senior, what's wrong? Miss me? Fong Haoyu couldn't help blushing a little when he saw the message. What kind of truth is she talking about? Idiot younger brother, no, I'm just bored. Jiang Jian couldn't help laughing out loud. From what she knew of the idiot younger brother, he was probably blushing right now. He's saying one thing but meaning another. He's being arrogant. Looks like it's the arrogant younger brother today. Idiot younger brother, Senior, don't you have class? Smart Senior, no, there are fewer classes in the third year. Idiot Junior, I'm so jealous. I still have to study advanced mathematics. I hate maths so much. I'm scared I'll fail the course. Smart Senior, I can help you with advanced mathematics, but you seem to hate maths, so there's nothing I can do. The senior is going to tutor him in advanced mathematics? Fong Haoyu could already imagine the two of them studying alone. Alone with his senior? Actually, he didn't seem to hate higher mathematics that much. Idiot Junior, actually, I really like mathematics, especially a subject like higher mathematics, which is a challenge for me. Please, Senior. Smart Senior, that depends on your sincerity. Idiot Junior, then I'll take you to dinner? Fong Haoyu regretted sending the message as soon as he did. Take someone to dinner? There are so many suitors for her hand, she definitely won't be lacking for meals. And it seems like the beneficiary of the meal would be him. Is my intention too obvious? Will it cause her to resent me? Smart Senior sister, I'll think about it. Dr. Panda's seriously thinking emoji. Fong Haoyu was slightly surprised when he saw the emoticon. He had originally thought that a pretty girl like his schoolmate would use a very cute emoticon. He had never expected her emoticon to be so abstract. His schoolmate really is a contrast in private. Chapter 26, Do You Dislike Me? Jiang Jian was lying on her bed in her dormitory, her little white feet flailing behind her. It was obvious that she was in a very good mood. Yang Xiaoling said suspiciously, Jiang, you seem very happy. Jiang Jian put a smile on her face and said indifferently, really? Yang Xiaoling said pensively, you're not at all. Your little feet are almost pointing to the sky, and you're still saying you're not? Jiang Jian then noticed that her feet had betrayed her. But that didn't stop her from being stubborn, maybe they have a mind of their own. Yang Xiaoling was speechless, stubborn as a dead duck. Jiang Jian pouted, I'm a pretty duck, not a dead duck. Yang Xiaoling shook her head, you've changed, you've become narcissistic, you're no longer the Jiang I know, something's wrong with you. You're definitely in love. I've even looked it up online. Someone who suddenly starts giggling at their phone must be in love. Jiang Jian. The internet is full of lies that fool idiots like you can even look up cancer online if you have a stomachache. Yang Xiaoling wavered, really? Really? Jiang Jian nodded seriously. I'll believe you this once. What are you giggling about? Ling Jikai looked at Fong Haoyu with a puzzled expression. I'm not telling you. Fong Haoyu said indifferently. Fine, if you won't tell me, I'll look it up online. Fong Haoyu. Fong Haoyu didn't continue to pay any attention to this idiot. For some reason, I really want to see her. It's been more than 10 hours since I last saw my senior. It's so hard. I wonder if my senior has had breakfast yet. Idiot Junior, Senior, have you had breakfast yet? Smart Senior, no, why? Idiot Junior, not eating breakfast is bad for your health. I'm almost done with class, I'll buy it for you. Do you like sweet or salty soy milk? This idiot is going to bring me breakfast? Jiang Jian suddenly froze. She didn't really like soy milk. Smart senior, I like sweet. Except of course when it's brought by an idiot. She doesn't like sweet soy milk, she likes it when it's delivered by her idiot classmate. Idiot classmate, senior, should I get one for your roommate? Smart senior, you want to deliver to 2 people? You're quite something, 2 women at once, you scumbag classmate. Fong Haoyu suddenly felt a chill down his back. He just wanted to make a good impression on his senior's roommate, so that she might say a few kind words about him to his senior. Unexpectedly, she called him a scumbag. It made him break out in a sweat. She can't really think of herself as a scumbag, can she? Ling Jikai mocked, what's wrong with you? It's quite cool in the classroom, why are you sweating? Are you weak? Fan Haoyu was speechless, I like to sweat a little. Idiot junior, senior, I'm being wronged. So I'll only buy you one? I really am not a scumbag. Jiang Jian burst out laughing. She could already picture the idiot junior dripping with sweat. Jiang Jian glanced at Yang Xiaoling, who was studying with headphones on, and whispered, do you want breakfast? No? If you don't say anything, I'll take that as a yes. Fine, I'll just have the junior buy one. It's your own fault if you don't eat it, and don't blame me for not telling you. Yang Xiaoling, with her headphones on, doesn't know at this moment that she has rejected a breakfast. Smart senior, I asked her, and she said she doesn't want it, that she doesn't like having breakfast bought for her by other people. Stupid junior, okay. I got it. 10 minutes between classes at university. Fan Haoyu plans to use this time to deliver breakfast. Simply deliver breakfast. Definitely not because he wants to see his senior. Ling Jikai curiously asks, where are you going for the second half of the class? Fan Haoyu said indifferently, I'm going to buy breakfast. Zhou Zirong, Dad, buy me a breakfast. It's useless to call me Dad. Fan Haoyu ruthlessly refused. He was going to deliver breakfast to his schoolmate. As for his sons, they could drink some of their own saliva to quench their hunger. It was fine for his sons to go hungry. But it would be bad if his schoolmate went hungry. Fan Haoyu hurried to the cafeteria to buy breakfast. After all, there was not much time, and the distance between the classroom and the dormitory was quite far. If he didn't hurry, he would be late when he returned. This was the first time he felt that a small school was better. I'll have a cup of sweet soy milk and 2 buns. After buying breakfast, his pace slowed down considerably, and he was very careful, afraid that the soy milk would spill. Soon he arrived at the bottom of the girls' dormitory building. Senior, I'm here. Upon receiving the message, Jiang Jian's eyebrows slightly raised. So soon? Shouldn't he still be in class at this hour? Kang Jian looked at the time and understood. This stupid junior used the time after class to come. Stupid. Kang Jian hurriedly put on her slippers and went downstairs. The stupid junior didn't say anything earlier. Otherwise, she would definitely have gone down earlier to wait. Fan Haoyu was already downstairs at this time. He was holding a breakfast in his hand and occasionally looked at the exit of the girls' dormitory building. In a short while, Kang Jian came out. She was wearing a loose white t-shirt and had a bun hairstyle. Her beautiful face and sparkling eyes gave her a youthful and lively appearance. Senior. I'm over here. Fan Haoyu raised his hand to get her attention. Jiang Jian trotted over. Look at you, you're all sweaty. She had a pink handkerchief in her hand, and she started to wipe the sweat off Fan Haoyu's face. Fan Haoyu instantly blushed to the base of his neck. Was this too intimate? Senior, your handkerchief smells so good. Senior, I can do it myself. Fan Haoyu took the handkerchief. If the atmosphere continued to be so ambiguous, his sweat would only increase due to nervousness. Jiang Jian's tone was a little distressed. You could have waited until after class to come over, you didn't have to be in such a hurry. Our school is not like high school, you must be tired running over here, right? Fan Haoyu smiled sheepishly, not tired, it will be 10:30 when I finish class, I'm afraid I'll be hungry, and it's not good for you not to eat breakfast. Jiang Jian laughed and said, idiot. Here you go. Fan Haoyu grinned and handed her the breakfast. Jiang Jian raised an eyebrow and said, you just came here to give me breakfast? Fan Haoyu blushed and said, I also wanted to see you. Jiang Jian smiled and said, why are you looking at me? Do you miss me? Fan Haoyu nodded honestly, yes. Jiang Jian was slightly stunned. She didn't expect the stupid younger student to be so honest and actually stop being stubborn. So, have you had enough? Jiang Jian tilted her head and smiled. I've had enough, so I'll go to class first, and I'll give you back your handkerchief. Jiang Jian pursed her lips and laughed lightly. You can have it. You'll definitely be sweating when you run back later. Fang Haoyu hesitated a bit, but Jiang Jian's eyebrows wrinkled slightly. You don't like me? Chapter 27, The World is Upside Down. Fang Haoyu subconsciously thought, how could it be? How could I dislike my senior? Jiang Jian's lips involuntarily rose. If she doesn't dislike it, does that mean she likes it? Ha! It should be considered so. Fang Haoyu blushed. Looking at such a junior. Jiang Jian just thought he was very cute. Idiot junior is so cute. That senior, it's getting late, class is about to start, I have to hurry back, see you next time. Jiang Jian nodded, Seeing the panicked back of her idiot junior, she couldn't help but laugh. What a fool. Jiang, why didn't you ask me to buy breakfast? Yang Shaoling pouted, her face full of unhappiness. Jiang Jian said indifferently, I didn't buy any, someone else gave it to me. And I did ask you, okay, but you ignored me. Yang Shaoling looked puzzled, when did you ask me? And I was wearing headphones just now. Wait a minute. You're saying that someone else gave you this breakfast? Yang Shaoling looked incredulous. This world has turned upside down. It's turned upside down to the point where I don't recognize it anymore. Jiang Jian, the university's most beautiful girl, the cold and aloof senior, the ice queen. You actually accepted breakfast from someone else. Was it a man or a woman? It's not a genderless person, is it? Is he younger or older than you? Jiang Jian raised an eyebrow. I'm not telling you. Yang Shaoling really felt like she was dreaming at that moment. The most cold-hearted beauty on campus. Who doesn't know that she never gets close to guys? I don't know how many guys want to get close to her, but the result is always the same, in vain. She is your best friend, how can you not know her personality? Now she actually told you that she received breakfast from someone else. Yang Shaoling feels like she has studied for an hour, and when she comes back to her senses, she finds that the sky has collapsed. Just tell me, I'm really curious, who on earth can get close to our iceberg goddess? I want to see if he is handsome, tall, and has a good character, otherwise why should he be your boyfriend? Yang Shaoling's tone carried a hint of pleading. In fact, it was mainly because she was a bit nosy. After all this time at university, Jiang Jian hadn't even looked at a single guy, and now she actually had someone she liked. As Jiang Jian's best friend, how could she resist being nosy? Jiang Jian's tone was very calm. Why are you asking so much? People who don't know would think you're choosing a man. And when did I say I had a boyfriend? Yang Shaoling was momentarily taken aback and asked in return, not a boyfriend? Then a suitor? Jiang Jian said seriously, he's the son of a friend of my father's. He just started university this year, so he's kind of a junior. I took him to his dorm when school started. So he wanted to repay me by buying me breakfast. That's reasonable, right? Before, she said she had a marriage certificate, but Yang Shaoling didn't believe her. Now she doesn't want to tell her best friend. She wants to quietly do something big and then shock her silly best friend. Yang Shaoling suddenly understands, so that's it, I thought you were really in love, but it turns out it's a junior. She can breathe a sigh of relief. Jiang Jian rolls her eyes, what? My being in love affects you? Yang Shaoling explained, not really. If you fall in love, I'll be all alone. You'll go on dates all the time, and I'll be left out in the cold. I'll be heartbroken. You should find someone too. Forget it, I'm better off alone. I haven't met the right person in the past 2 years. Handsome guys are average, and nice guys aren't handsome enough. Jiang Jian hit the nail on the head, so you deserve to be single. Yang Shaoling stuck out her tongue, so what? I like being single, and you're here with me. Jiang Jian sighed. This silly best friend. If she knew she had gotten a marriage license, how would she feel? Jiang Jian already looked forward to the expression on her silly best friend's face when she found out everything. Didn't you go buy breakfast? Finished already? Is the cafeteria really that hot? Why are you sweating so much? Ling Jikai asked curiously. Fang Haoyu returned to his seat panting, forget it, I'm exhausted. This school is so big, It's far from the dormitory building. Ling Jikai, what? You went back to the dormitory? You didn't even finish your class, why did you go back? Fong Haoyu giggled. Of course I went back to deliver breakfast to my schoolmate. Guess. Ling Jikai looked speechless, am I a child? Still guessing. Fong Haoyu asked, do you have any paper on you? I'll use it to wipe the sweat off. Ling Jikai took a pack of paper towels out of his pocket and gave it to you. Fong Haoyu grinned, thanks, sugarcane, I'll buy you some to eat next time. Ling Jikai's face turned black, get out. Fong Haoyu glanced at the pink handkerchief and put it away directly. He really didn't want to use the handkerchief that his senior had given him. Really? You have a handkerchief? And you asked me for a tissue. Ling Jikai's eyes widened. Fong Haoyu explained, someone gave it to me, and I don't want to use it to wipe my sweat. Ling Jikai was suddenly possessed by Conan, pink? Someone gave it to you? You were just in the dormitory building. You were sweating all over. There's something wrong with you. There's only one truth. I know. You went to buy breakfast for a girl. Ling Jikai was shocked. You betrayed the organization. Do you know that as the head of the dormitory, I have repeatedly told the boys in room 3357 to be careful with girls and not to be fooled, but you just wouldn't listen. Fong Haoyu asked in puzzlement, why? Ling Jikai put on a mask of pain, because I haven't found a girlfriend yet, and neither have you. It's even harder for me than killing me when my best friend finds a girlfriend before me. He turned around and complained to the other two. Zhou Ziren was very surprised, what? Haoyu is in a relationship. Which actress is the heroine? Have I seen it? Ling Jikai looked disgusted, you are hopeless. Yao Yutong, Haoyu, did you really get a girlfriend? Fong Haoyu helplessly explained, no, I didn't get a girlfriend, I just like someone. Ling Jikai immediately said, then you can't do this, it's too dog-licking to send someone breakfast, what if they don't like you? What if they treat you like an ATM? Yao Yutong advised, Gansu, don't think of people as so bad. This isn't the internet, there aren't so many little fairies. Fong Haoyu pondered for a moment. Licking dogs? My schoolmate even cooks for me, she's also made a contribution. ATM? Her family seems to be quite wealthy, she shouldn't look down on the 3 melons and 2 dates on me. After summing up, Fong Haoyu loved his schoolmate even more. Ling Jikai sighed, my son has grown up, and I can't keep him. Get lost. Fong Haoyu glared at him angrily. Yao Yutong asked, how did you two meet? I guess it was arranged by the families, right? When I first met him, it felt like a dream. That's right. As soon as we met, we went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get married. It felt like a dream, didn't it? Chapter 28 Jiang's most beautiful girl wants to participate in the welcome party. None of the 4 were paying attention in class. They just let the time pass. The class quickly came to an end. Fortunately, there was only one class this morning. They could go back early to get some sleep. Room 3357. Finally, they can sleep. Ling Jikai felt relieved. The class was really hard. Fortunately, the teacher didn't care much, otherwise they definitely wouldn't have been able to use their phones if they sat in the front. You know, college students can't live without their phones in class. Finally, I can play Genshin Impact. The first thing Zhou Ziren did when he got back to the dormitory was turn on his computer and play Genshin Impact. Fong Haoyu also turned on his computer. He still had a 4,000-word task to complete today. Yao Yutong took out her English CET4 materials and started reviewing. Ling Jikai had just lain down on the bed to catch up on some sleep. The sound of flipping pages just came out. It immediately attracted the attention of the others. Zhou Ziren yelled, what's going on? Stop it. What are you doing? Put it down. Put down the pen in your hand. Have you contracted the 4th level? Ling Jikai angrily questioned Yao Yutong. Yao Yutong was startled and explained, you have to take the 4th level exam to graduate, so if you don't study now, when will you study? Wouldn't it be good to pass early? Ling Jikai said excitedly, no. It's not good at all. We're a group, so how can you secretly study? You should be playing games right now. Yao Yutong was speechless, didn't you want to go to bed? Won't I disturb you when I play games? Ling Jikai shook his head, what are you talking about? The sound of playing games is not loud, it's the sound of you flipping through books that really disturbs me. Fong Haoyu agreed wholeheartedly. My roommate's green axis from playing games allows me to sleep peacefully, but the sound of my roommate flipping through books keeps me up all night. Ling Jikai took out his own headphones. These are my new headphones, they're expensive, you can use them, hurry up and play a game of King, don't make me beg you. No, you can also play it out. Yao Yutong. Yao Yutong hesitated for a moment, and then said, but if I don't memorize the vocabulary for the TEM4, how will I pass the exam? Fang Haoyu said sternly, you have the answers in your head when you take the exam? What's the difference between that and cheating? Ling Jikai nodded in agreement. Yes, you are cheating. How shameful. Yao Yutong. That's a good point. Since you've all said that, I'm sorry if I don't come and play with you. That's more like it. Ling Jikai felt relieved. Just remember not to study, it'll disturb my sleep. Yao Yutong suddenly remembered something. Yes, I received a notice that there will be a welcome party in a couple of days. As a class representative, I have to go. Do you want to go together? Welcome party? No way. Ling Jikai said disdainfully. I heard that there will be a lot of pretty girls performing. But then again, I'm not a dog, so I'm going. Ling Jikai changed his face really quickly. You really can change your face really quickly. Yao Yutong was speechless. Are you two going? Fang Haoyu pondered for a moment. Welcome party? It's pretty boring to stay in the dorm every day, so I might as well go. That's right. You can ask your seniors. Knowledge explosion, senior, there's a welcome party in a couple of days, I want to go, what do you think of this welcome party? Is it worth seeing? In no time, senior Hai Jian replied. Hai Jian, well, it's worth seeing. Knowledge explosion, okay. Fan Haoyu, who received the message, decisively chose to go to the welcome party. Go! Zhou Ziren, what about you? Zhou Ziren also looked disdainful. It's better to watch the latest episode than to watch the party. Fan Haoyu suddenly said, there might be a cosplay performance by the seniors from the comics club. But then again, the anime hasn't been updated this week, so I think it's still worth going. Zhou Ziren gave a hee-hee laugh. Aren't you the kind of woman who only likes the second dimension? Ling Jikai teased. Zhou Ziren shook his head, no, I also like the 2.5-dimensional women. I like cosplaying girls, preferably with the same hobbies as me. Otherwise, I wouldn't go to the comic book convention just to find the right 2.5D girl for me. Ling Jikai gave him a thumbs up, you're invincible, kid. Ling Jikai gave a cheap laugh, the welcome party feels like it'll be full of beautiful girls, maybe this is my chance to get off the market. Zhou Ziren scoffed, a piece of sugar cane also wants to get off the market? Ling Jikai angrily said, get out. You can't even find one in the private cafeteria. Fang Haoyu asked curiously, by the way, leader, do you have a favorite girl? Yao Yutong said indifferently, yes, we've been together for 3 years. Upon hearing this, the two people who were arguing stopped. Ling Jikai was shocked, leader, you have a girlfriend. Why didn't you say so earlier? I thought you were single too. Yao Yutong shrugged her shoulders, you didn't ask, and I'm a relatively low-key person. Fang Haoyu curiously asked, which university is she from? Yao Yutong gave a bitter smile. She had repeated the year and didn't do well this year, so she wanted to try again. She really wanted to go to Jiangnan University, that was her goal. It's okay, you'll do well the second time, I repeated the year too. Fang Haoyu patted him on the shoulder. Ling Jikai sighed. He didn't expect that the first person to get out of the singles club would be the leader. This also means that there are still 3 single guys in our dorm, let me be the second person to get out of the club. Zhou Ziren looked at him with contempt, with your figure, you're a dead ringer for a bamboo stick that will fall over in the wind, so go gain some weight first. Fan Haoyu was actually smiling to himself. Although he wasn't with his schoolmate, they had already gotten their marriage certificate. So he wasn't exactly a single dog. To be precise, he should be considered 2 single dogs. When the time came and they found out that they had gotten their marriage certificate, I wonder how their expressions would be. What? You want to go to the welcome party? Yang Xiaoling can't understand her best friend anymore. Jiang Jian said indifferently, you talk to the student council for me. Yang Xiaoling nodded. I'm the vice president of the student council, I'll definitely agree. I'll just let them arrange it. But why do you want to go to the welcome party? How could the student council possibly say no when Jiang University's most beautiful girl is going to perform on stage? I'm not telling you. Jiang Jian gave a mysterious smile. Yang Xiaoling said, whatever, if you don't want to tell me, I don't want to hear it anyway. You're killing me. Actually, I don't really want to hear it. Are you really not going to tell me? Why don't you just tell me? Yang Xiaoling looked at Jiang Jian pitifully. Jiang Jian raised her eyebrows, simply wanting to go up and perform. Yang Xiaoling looked at her suspiciously. Jiang University's most beautiful girl suddenly went on stage just to perform. There must be something fishy about this. Chapter 29, completely random. No? Where's my cosplay? Zhou Ziren had a dark face. He had come just for the cosplay, but it turned out to be nothing like he had imagined. Instead, Ling Jikai was having a great time. On the stage at the moment, quite a few older students were dancing in their bras. Their figures were incredibly hot. Ling Jikai's nose was about to bleed. Fang Haoyu comforted him, it's okay, you're here already, just stay until you've seen it all. Zhou Ziren had no choice but to turn on his phone. Launch. The welcome party was indeed quite ordinary. That was Fang Haoyu's current thought. It was either sketches or stand-up comedy. Except for singing, which he liked, he wasn't very interested in anything else. He wasn't interested in these older girls dancing. His heart was already taken by the clever older girl. Didn't the senior say that the orientation party was very interesting? Fang Haoyu was a little confused. Fang Haoyu yawned. He would never come to any more activities about the party in the future. It was boring. Ling Jikai grinned lewdly, did you guys see that? This dance is so hot. You are indeed energetic college students. Disgusting. Zhou Ziren gave him a dirty look. After the dance, the school sister on stage did not forget to advertise, everyone who likes street dance can join our street dance club, we have. Ling Jikai's eyes lit up, I want to join the street dance club. So many pretty school sisters teaching me to dance, hee hee. Fang Haoyu, I declare that your current level of wretchedness is no less than Zhou Ziren's. Zhou Ziren looked at Fang Haoyu with a smile on his face, what did you say? Fang Haoyu felt a chill run down his back and didn't say anything. He was afraid that tonight Zhou Ziren would once again transform into Jiegu and start to disgust him. With the end of the last, very embarrassing sketch, Yao Yutong took out her phone and looked at the program order. This seems to be the last program. It should be over. Zhou Ziren was relieved, is it finally over? These people's performances are not as good as mine. Fang Haoyu nodded in recognition. If Zhou Ziren could dance on top of the women's paradise, the effect would definitely be better than these small sketches that are afraid of breaking. He even feels that if just anyone goes up and dances to Kun Kun's famous song, they can easily blow up the audience. Ling Jikai suddenly speculated, it seems that it's not over yet, could there be a hot dance? At this time, a man wearing a black suit, with black glasses and a gentle appearance, came onto the stage. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself, my name is Song Jiaxing, I am the current president of the student union. Song Jiaxing gave a mysterious smile, do you all think the show is over? I can responsibly tell you that it isn't. The performer is someone you would never expect, and I just got the news too. I'm very surprised at her arrival. The audience suddenly started to get noisy. Who on earth is it? How could the student union president introduce her personally? Ling Jikai was very curious, who is so important? Yao Yutong frowned slightly, it can't be a leader of the school, can it? Otherwise, why is the president smiling so ingratiatingly? Zhou Ziren shrugged, no one can stop me from playing primitive man. Fang Haoyu didn't know why, but he had a very familiar feeling. His heart had a little more anticipation. Could it be her? The person in his heart. Song Jiaxing laughed, I won't keep everyone in suspense. She is Jiang Jian, the #1 flower girl at Jiangcheng University and a junior in the computer science department. She will sing special person for us, so please welcome her with applause. As soon as these words were spoken, the whole audience almost boiled over. Jiang University's most beautiful girl. Almost no freshman at Jiang University has never heard of Jiang Jian. Her appearance has always been the best in the whole school. Her photos can be found on the school forum. And she often appears on the confession wall. She is the goddess in the hearts of many people. Now I can actually see the goddess at the welcome party. Ling Jikai exclaimed excitedly, this welcome party was well worth coming to, it's Jiang University's most beautiful girl. Everyone who was planning to leave moved their butts back. Not for any other reason, but simply because they like this song. The Jiangda School Flower. It's hard to see her even once normally, and I never thought I'd get to see her perform here. I told my roommates who were playing video games, they were so excited they almost cried, and they asked if it was still time for me to come. Fong Haoyu froze. It really was her. Does someone special mean something? Song Jiaxing smiled as he came down the stage, but his eyes never left the stage for a moment, and there was a hint of adoration in his eyes. Before long, Jiang Jian slowly came to the center of the stage. She was wearing a simple, all-black evening dress with a soft, flared skirt. A golden flower was pinned at her waist. The dress wrapped her skin in layers of silk, accentuating her slender, perfect figure and making her look stunning and beautiful. She was already very pretty with her bare face, but today she had applied a light dusting of pink powder, which made her beauty even more dazzling and eye-catching. This scene stunned everyone present. She was so beautiful. Everyone was so shocked by her beauty that they couldn't say a word. In particular, there was a cold aura about her that was so oppressive. The originally noisy hall also quieted down. Jiang Jian's beautiful eyes seemed to be looking for something in the audience. She quickly locked onto that person. Her eyes stared straight at him. Fong Haoyu was slightly startled. It seemed like the senior was looking at him. When he thought about this, his heartbeat couldn't help but accelerate. However, he quickly calmed down. Senior's sister is so outstanding, is he being too narcissistic? Ling Jikai said narcissistically, senior sister Jiang seems to be looking at me. Zhou Ziran rolled his eyes, you're not going to say that senior sister Jiang wants to eat a sugarcane, are you? As the accompaniment slowly began, the entire audience fell silent. Jiang Jian took the microphone and slowly began to sing. Her voice was very gentle, and her singing was very beautiful. Everyone was immersed in the music. Jiangda's #1 school beauty is not only beautiful, but also has a beautiful voice. At this time, Song Jiaxing's eyes were mesmerized. Of course, it wasn't just him, everyone there was mesmerized. Fong Haoyu always felt a little narcissistic. He always felt that the special person that his senior was talking about was himself. He quietly listened to his senior's singing. It turned out that she could sing as well. As the song ended, everyone couldn't help but applaud. Song Jiaxing, who was in the audience, was just about to go on stage to end the welcome party for the new students for the day. Jiang Jian suddenly picked up the microphone and said lightly, I want to invite someone to come up here and sing a song with me. Song Jiaxing was dumbfounded. Didn't she say she was only going to sing one song? Why did she suddenly add a chorus? Everyone in the audience went wild. Pick me. Pick me. Senior, I sing really well. Senior, choose me, I'm a god of singing in karaoke. Jiang Jian gave a faint smile, I'll just pick someone at random. Then she looked around, thought for a while, and fixed her beautiful eyes on Fong Haoyu. It's decided, it's you. The boy in the middle in white. Fong Haoyu's mind went blank, and he pointed at himself, me? Was this really random? I don't know if Fong Haoyu misread it. A sly smile seemed to flash across the corner of Jiang Jian's mouth. Yes, it's you. Chapter 30, Chorus. Damn it. You've been picked, why aren't you going up there? Ling Jikai was even more anxious than Fong Haoyu. You could hear the slight amount of hatred in his tone. No one expected Jiang Jian to actually pick a boy to go up on stage and sing with her. You have to understand that over the past 2 years, countless people have tried to get close to her, but she has never even approached a boy. So everyone naturally assumed that she didn't like boys. Unexpectedly, this time she actually chose a boy to sing with. Fong Haoyu swallowed, stood up, and forced himself to look calm. In fact, his legs were already shaking a little. The main reason was that he felt that his senior's aura on stage was too oppressive. That was something that they hadn't felt when they had been alone together before. It was only now that he understood why his senior was nicknamed the Iceberg Goddess. Song Jiaxing's brows furrowed slightly. For some reason, seeing Jiang Jian singing with someone else made him feel uncomfortable. Meanwhile, in the corner of the audience, a girl with a ponytail was shocked. Iba, what's wrong? Chen Yu asked in confusion. She could feel that her best friend had seen something unbelievable. Although it was indeed surprising that the iceberg goddess was going to sing with a guy, it wasn't that surprising. No, it's fine. Shani thought about that night. They can't really be in a relationship, can they? For some reason, she felt a sense of dissatisfaction in her heart. She had rejected him, but now she was regretting it. She knew it wasn't a coincidence when she saw Jiang randomly ask Fang Haoyu to come up and sing with her. It was definitely not a coincidence. Could it be that they had a little romance going on? Xin Yi's expression was terrible. Chen Yu was a little worried. If it's hard for you, I'll take you back to the dorm. No, let's watch it first. Xin Yi forced a smile. Fang Haoyu walked up to the stage and stood next to his senior, under the envious gazes of everyone else. I know you. Jiang Jian smiled slightly. You're the guy who sang Rewind on the confession wall, right? Fang Haoyu nodded dumbly. Didn't he already know his senior? Jiang Jian asked indifferently, what song do you want to sing? On the stage, she still maintained her aloof persona. Fang Haoyu froze for a moment. I don't know. He only knows how to sing some sentimental songs, but they're not really suitable for this occasion. In that case, let's sing something simpler. You know Simple Love, right? Fang Haoyu's voice was very quiet. He was very nervous now, and his mind was blank. At this time, Song Jiaxing also handed him a microphone. Fang Haoyu always felt a sense of hostility when he took the microphone, but he still politely said, "Thank you, senior." Song Jiaxing's smile didn't reach his eyes. You're welcome. The three people in room 3357 were the first to shout. As the mood of a few people was aroused, the other audience members also began to cheer. As the accompaniments slowly sounded. At this time, the audience below the stage also began to quiet down. This is a love song. Fang Haoyu glanced at his senior. He found that his senior was also looking at him, and there was a hint of an indescribable meaning in her eyes. The two locked eyes. Fang Haoyu began to get into the mood with the accompaniment, and his eyes became tender. I can't say why, but I've become very proactive. If you fall in love with someone, everything is worth doing. Looking at Fang Haoyu at this moment, Jiang Jian's heart felt like it skipped a beat. This guy really knows how to sing a love song. Then she slowly opened her mouth to sing in response. I want to just hold your hand and never let go. Can love be forever innocent and without harm? Her voice was also very emotional. The two people singing together seemed to have really fallen in love. Their memories came at the same time as the walk in the park that day. The singing song continued to infect all the audience. You, leaning on my shoulder. You, falling asleep on my chest. A life like this. I love you, you love me. The song ended. Everyone spontaneously applauded. The two people's cooperation was simply too good. It was like a couple. If Jiang Jian hadn't said it was completely random, and Fang Haoyu's performance was very green, they really would have thought Fang Haoyu was a plant arranged by the school. Fang Haoyu really wasn't a plant arranged by the school. But he knew very well that his senior must not have been random, but intentional. Fang Haoyu blushed and went off the stage. It was really great to sing with his senior. For some reason, he really wanted to hear his senior actually say the last line of the lyrics to him. The welcome party ended successfully. On the way back. I didn't think you really got her. Ling Zikai's eyes were full of envy. This is the Jiangnan University flower girl. You actually got her to know you. Fang Haoyu scratched his head. It's okay. Yao Yutong nodded. If we didn't know you, we would really think you were a fake. It's really small probability that you were chosen out of so many people. Zhou Ziren, you're so lucky. I'll give you my 10 consecutive numbers tonight. Fang Haoyu's expression was a little strange. Random? He felt that his senior had planned this. No wonder she had looked around as soon as she got on stage. She was actually looking for him. No, he had to send a message to his senior. Senior, you're not lying, are you? It was completely random? Of course. When have I ever lied to you? I feel like you lie to me all the time. Do I look good today? You look great. Do you like it? I've always liked it. You're good at talking sweet things. Fang Haoyu giggled as he looked at his phone. From time to time, he let out a laugh, which attracted the attention of the people around him. The other few people subconsciously moved away from him a little. This is so embarrassing. Haoyu, Are you going to get sick? Ling Jikai asked worriedly. This idiot is still smiling, let's see how long it takes him to react. Zhou Ziren gave a wicked smile. Yao Yutong, isn't that expression obvious? He must be chatting up a girl he likes. Ling Jikai gave him a look, and you know that for sure? Yao Yutong said indifferently, because I have a girlfriend, so I know. Ling Jikai. He's not actually talking to her, is he? Who is this junior? Yang Shaoling took out the video and questioned. Jiang Jian said indifferently, I picked him at random. Yang Shaoling is not stupid, randomly drawn? Do you think I'll believe that? Jiang Jian, I know your personality. You would draw a guy? You must have an affair with him. Jiang Jian did not refute, if you say it is so. Not to mention, this schoolmate is quite handsome, with a kind of green, youthful sense. If you have nothing to do with him, I'll go after him. Yang Shaoling had a wicked smile on her face. Jiang Jian blurted out subconsciously, no.